The final efforts to stop the comet have officially failed. Impact is imminent.
We're gonna die down here.
I want to go home.
Just don't leave me alone.
I will make preparations. There's nothing left to live for.
The destruction is absolute.
The world is dead.
Services.
Where is the line drawn for what is human and what is not? Would walking corpses do it? Would a group of machines thinking they're human be acceptable?
It's not real. This isn't real. I have to get out of here.
Should we give in to our inevitable fate, or should we try to live forever? The game starts with a quote. Reality is which, when you stop believing in it, it doesn't go away.
Are you okay, Simon? I think you're bleeding.
Oh, that's nothing. It's just my brain can't stop bleeding from the accident.
We're launched into a horrifying flashback
Here,
dream.
take this.
No, that's for later, for the scan.
It's green.
Ashley, I need to tell you something.
Simon, please don't make this weird.
No, it's not like that.
Simon's phone starts going off.
Why now?
Who's David Munchie?
Why is there never enough time?
For what?
As Simon is jolted awake in his bed by his phone ringing loudly in his tiny apartment. He picks up the phone. Someone called David Munchie is calling.
Yeah, I'm up.
Hi, Simon Jarret?
Yeah, that's me.
My name is David Munchie. We spoke earlier.
The brain scan. I remember.
Are you all right?
Yeah, just a bad dream. Are we still on for today?
Yeah, that's why I'm calling. I wanted to remind you to drink the tracer fluid I sent you. It'll help me capture a better image of the damages.
Don't worry, I got it somewhere.
Okay, great. Well, I'll see you in a couple of hours then.
Okay, see you soon.
Simon has brain damage from a car crash. He was driving with his co-worker Ashley when a distracted mother ran a red light and hit Simon head on.
Where did I put the tracer fluid?
Simon now had to look for the tracer fluid, a substance that would allow for a more accurate brain scan. There's several books found lying around Simon's apartment. This one is about a family that gets mysteriously pulled deep underwater, trapped there forever. Quite thematic for what's to come. There's also a voicemail on his answering machine from his co-worker, Jesse.
Hey Simon, it's Jesse. You working this weekend or what? I knew there was something you were doing. Was it this weekend or next? Anywho, just shoot me a mail or something. Love you, miss you, mean it.
End of messages.
I swear, that guy has the memory of a goldfish. I even sent an email to remind him, didn't I?
Simon thought he sent an email, but after inspecting his laptop, he finds otherwise.
Oh, I forgot to hit send. Better late than never.
There's several photos dotted around his apartment from Simon's life, with one of them showing a stick on a beach, and another one showing his hometown of Toronto, Canada. There's also a newspaper in the drawer, an article that details his accident with Ashley, and how she tragically passed away as her internal organs bled, filling her lungs with blood as she drowned on her own life source. Simon lives in an apartment block. Clearly his wage from the comic book store, the Grimoire, are enough to support himself with a little flat in the middle of a busy city. Though, after searching for a while, Simon finally finds the tracer fluid sitting in a cupboard.
There it is.
And he drinks it like he was instructed to do.
It feels like milk, but the taste, it's like sucking on a penny.
He also has a to-do list, reminding him to pick up flowers for Ashley's funeral. But he leaves his apartment for Dr. Munchie's office and commutes to the university on a dingy-looking subway, as his co-worker Jesse calls him to see how he's doing.
Jesse.
Hey, Simon. I got your email. Just wanted to wish you good luck and let you know I got you covered.
Thanks. I should be able to come to the store after the scan.
Don't sweat it. I got Matt and Chris helping me out.
Maddie from SNL?
Guess you didn't hear? He's coming in full-time, working the comics section.
That's Ashley's job.
Yeah, well...
Ashley likely can't work when she's dead.
Forget it. Not doing her any favors by leaving an empty spot. Not like she's coming back.
Well, good luck. Hope they find a way to reverse the whole, dying thing.
Dying thing? You're the worst support ever.
What should I say?
I'll see you later, Jesse. Don't burn the place down while I'm gone.
Over and out, buddy.
The voice acting in this game is phenomenal. They do a near perfect job of making these characters feel as if they are real people, living normal lives with everyday struggles. The lab looks completely abandoned.
Hello? Dr. Munchie? Where is everyone? Thought this place would be busy.
It's quite unsettling to be in a place meant to have medical marvels capable of reducing and curing Simon's brain damage, but it looks like it's been run down for years.
This is the place, right? It must be.
Let's just call Munchie real quick. Great. Got his phone turned off.
Alright, we need a code.
So Simon looks around the barren office for some sort of code to open the door. Some emails on the laptop talk about Simon's imminent arrival and go over how they've rented out the abandoned office space along with some computers to run the models of the brain scan. But Simon conveniently finds the code written down in the notebook, 2501. Along with a poster detailing how the brain scan works. The scanning machine generates a Nakajima neurograph, which models the brain's flow, essentially having a duplicate version of your brain modeled. It then gets loaded up onto a computer simulation where they give you an endless combination of treatments to find the optimal outcome. That then gets administered to the real patient. But after entering the code, Simon gets the door unlocked and can now enter the lab with Munchie. In the server room, we can see a computer currently running a neurograph simulation. With all these computers and machines currently running a live human brain, if you class that as alive, that is.
Oh, hi. Didn't hear you come in. Simon Jarret, right?
Dr. Munchie?
Well, it's just Mr. Munchie, but I'm working on it. Actually, you're helping me right now.
Is this part of your thesis work?
Yeah, it's a study I'm doing with my colleague Paul Berg. We hope to design a gentle way to work with brain reconstruction, to help people like you. Oh, did you, take the tracer fluid?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Great. Well, we can start whenever you're ready.
I really hope you're right about this.
Me too. This could make a huge difference for how we treat people with brain damage. So, what do you say? Should we get going?
Sure. Let's get started.
Take a seat.
So Simon sits in the chair that would be used to create a fully accurate model of his brain. As the device is lowered and clamps onto his head.
All right, let me just get this out of the way. You are Simon Jarret, correct?
Right.
Toronto, Canada, Munchie. Born 1988, July 16.
Right.
Flat neurograph, version 6. Good. All files in order.
Will this hurt?
It's just a scan. It'll hurt about as much as getting your picture taken.
Indians thought cameras would steal their souls.
Is that so? Well, let's hope they're wrong. Ready? Say cheese.
Nobody at this point in the game could ever realize how accurate the Indians were.
What happened?
Simon hears the remnants of the machine finish, and it's pried off his head.
Hello? Mr. Munchie? Did something go wrong?
Munchie is nowhere to be seen, other than a bright red light in the corner of the room.
Hey! Anyone?
And after turning the lights on, Simon is met with an unbelievable horror.
What is this place? How did I get here?
He's in some sort of underground facility, a very different place to where he initially left. Though the door to the room is locked, or doesn't have power. But Simon finds another clever way through. And enters the large, abandoned facility. One of two things can be true right now. Either he somehow got teleported somewhere and Munchie was lying to him the whole time, or something far more horrifying. But while wandering around, he finds an intercom data buffer with its last transmission.
It's working better than expected. They're having a really hard time getting the doors open.
I'll permaseal as many as you can, rather not take any chances.
Roger. Did you cut off the factory floor?
All done? Should keep most of them out. I'm on my way to lock off the comm center.
Just make sure to leave a way out of here.
Trust me, I'll get you to Theta safe and sound. We just need to make sure we're leaving our power running so we don't have to return.
I hear that. See you back at camp.
How did I do that?
Sounds like whatever these workers were doing was effective. But in another one of the rooms, a mass of blue bulbs and leaky oily substance is overflowing from the ceiling, seemingly growing like a cancer. Simon finds a room filled with A-95 worker robots. As he gets closer to one, however, his camera starts shaking violently. Though Simon is able to interface with one of them.
Hey you. Can you talk? Can you talk like the others? Why are you like this? You want some structure, Joe? Yeah, you do. So weird. Doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna shut you down now, okay? Yeah, you're creepy as hell, so I'm gonna shut you down.
Something around this place is making all the robots come to life. As that one that was shaking a moment before got up and walked away. What is making these robots like this? But after it's finished its tantrum, Simon can go into the room, picking up something called an Omni tool. And there's a manual explaining it. It says that it helps the user interface with electronics and automate tasks, and that it can open doors. There's also a disgusting headless corpse in the middle of the black substance. But Simon safely makes it back to the original place he woke up, inserting the Omni tool on the bench.
Service console Upsilon 3, including pilot seat, activated.
This place is called Upsilon. It's currently running on reserve power and only has 13 days left to keep it running until everything shuts down. But Simon unlocks the toolbox to grab a Cortex chip, something that gives a higher level of permissions so he can access more doors in this place. So he then grabs his updated Omni tool and heads off. But he finds some emails from a man called Carl Semken, who has been using the pilot seats, the thing that Simon came out of, giving everyone who uses them extreme nausea and sickness. Though Simon makes his way over to the door that was previously inaccessible and opens it with the Omni tool, revealing a huge tunnel with a strange blue light, which reveals that we are deep underwater. This place is called Pathos 2. It's a research station located on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge in the North Atlantic Sea. It's also home to something called the Omega Space Gun, a railgun capable of launching satellites into space from deep underwater.
Amy, are you there?
I'm here.
Ready to let it go yet?
I guess so.
Plenty of opportunity to go stand on the fishes back at Theta.
I'm gonna miss this place.
Upsilon?
Come on. We've worked here for years. You're not even gonna miss it a little bit?
A power plant full of psychotic machines. I'll find a way to go.
That's cold, man. It's not Upsilon's fault it got swarmed.
Whatever. Seal that thing and get back to camp already.
Roger that.
There are 9 different stations of Pathos 2, all with fittingly creepy Greek names. This is Upsilon that Simon is currently at. He finds some drawings of fish and other creatures infected with that blue-black creature substance that we saw earlier. That substance infecting them is a living AI system called the WOW. The WOW is used across all of Pathos 2 and is used to regulate all sorts of life support systems, general door opening and maintenance of the sites across Pathos 2. It makes sense when there is a small crew living on the floor of the ocean to employ an ever-present computer system to do most of the menial work. But what happens when that system goes wrong? But Simon hears a voice coming from the door.
Ah, shit!
And the door gets angry. Is it conscious? But as Simon approaches the strange-looking flower, the man trapped inside the door begs us to stop.
What was that? It doesn't hurt anymore.
Though the voice from the door now is completely gone. Did someone just die? Did I just kill a person by accidentally turning off the door? It's a horrifying thought to think that there could have been some sort of conscious living being inside of that door. Is that a good way to be? I think most people would say no. Whatever this creature is, definitely does a brilliant job at being terrifying. The atmosphere in this game is better than anything I've ever seen. It somehow manages to merge being terrifying while gripping with themes of existence and consciousness that I've never seen any other game do successfully. It's a true masterclass in horror that we'll explore over the next few hours, especially what it means to live forever and how this game approaches that horrifying question. Upsilon has a geothermal reactor that generates electricity for most of the site. But why is it turned off? Though a posting note mentions something called structure gel. That's the black stuff leaking all over this place. Simon comes across another robot.
Hey, can you hear me?
It seems to be breathing with difficulty. Strange for a robot to breathe. So Simon pulls out its connection to the power, but the robot protests.
I need it. Why? I was okay. I was happy.
And the robot turns off and passes away, if you can call it that. It's terrifying to think that a person was there, being kept alive by external life support. But they were happy, weren't they? But with the press of a button, Simon turns on the geothermal reactor again. Simon can now see the state of the other Pathos 2 sites, with most of them being offline. Except Lambda, which seems to be operational, and another person answers.
Oh, what is... What's happening? Hello, is there anyone there?
Hey, can you hear me?
I hear you. Upsilon, what's going on?
I have no idea. I just sort of woke up here.
In the room right now?
It was like a seat with a helmet.
Is that right? What's your name?
I'm Simon Jarret.
And what do you... signal... Damn relays. Where are you now?
Someplace dealing with electrical power. I'm not sure if it's a plant or a transformer.
Yeah, you're probably in a thermal plant somewhere. You want to go upstairs to the comm center. It's the room with the dome ceiling.
Hey, look, this place is not... There's something seriously wrong here. Hello?
But her signal is dying.
I'm sorry I didn't catch that. We lost another relay. Just listen, head for the comm center upstairs. I'll wait here.
So now Simon had another goal. Head to the comms room to properly talk with this person and figure out what's going on. Looks like a long way down, doesn't it? Honestly, might be better off jumping in than dealing with the horrors to come. The generator had been down for 143 days. Clearly this place has been dead for a long time. How did Simon end up at the bottom of the ocean without power? Inevitably, something breaks, but now he's trapped with a creature called the Construct. It's a ball model helper robot and seems quite confused. Unlike the other robots we've encountered so far, it doesn't seem to resemble a human, but instead more aggressive. The Construct is also visible in many of the promotional images of this game, being seen looking into a mirror and seeing a woman. Does this machine think it's that woman? Is that what it ends up seeing when it looks in the mirror? What has this place done to these people to trap them in these bodies and make them think they're... But after breaking a valve and quickly opening a gate to the communications tower, Simon escapes the construct. As it races after, nearly catching him. It sounds very happy. And as the power turns on in this room, so does another robot. This one seems convinced it's human. Strange. Several cartoonish drawings are strewn across the desk. They're of Amy and Carl's pathos buddies. Clearly, these two get along well. And a map on the wall reveals many offices and rooms, some of them crossed out in red, seemingly off limits for dangerous things inside, as well as another healing orb for short circuits. There's a lockdown in effect on Upsilon. This is seemingly done to prevent these creatures from wandering around, but we can't get into the communications tower with it active, so Simon needs to lift the lockdown, and he enters the room with the robot. And he tries talking to her.
What are you?
Are you blind? It's me, Carl Semkin. Wrangler? Any of this sound familiar to you?
No, actually.
Well, thanks for being so helpful. It's not like I'm knocked out on the floor or anything.
Are you human?
Shit, did my body give it away? I try hard to stay a mystery. Yeah, I'm human. Are you?
My name is Simon. Do you know anything about this place?
Oh, you knew. That makes this slightly less weird. Look, I'm obviously hurt. If you see anyone else around, just tell them where I am.
So, where are you exactly?
Are you for real? I'm right here. See me waiting? Look at my hands. Hey, buddy.
Okay. I'm just gonna be. I'm not seeing it. I see a machine, a robot talking.
What the hell are you looking at? I'm here. See?
Okay. I just didn't expect you to look like that.
You're really hung up on appearances, you know that?
How did you hurt yourself?
Not sure. Blacked out pretty bad. Can't remember how I got here.
What do you remember then?
I was in the pilot seat, remoting a UH.
UH?
A universal helper. You know, a robot like these things, but livelier. Anyway, I was just dealing with some heat shields and... that's my last clear memory.
Listen, I don't want to alarm you, but I think you might be trapped in a robot.
I'm telling you, get your eyes checked. I'm right here. I see both my hands, both my feet. When you remote, all you see is like a video feed from the helper unit. Your own body is entirely out of the picture.
So this man, this robot, is clearly convinced that he's human, yet we obviously see that he isn't. But Simon flips a diverter switch that starts to electrocute Carl.
I'm sorry, I think I pulled the wrong lever.
Don't sweat it. Just get me a doctor.
Won't a mechanic make more sense?
You trying to be fucking funny? Give me a medic.
But you're a robot.
Really? The robots have legs, hands, a face. You're delusional.
Okay, calm down. I won't...
Get some fucking help!
Isn't it strange that this person's last memory is sitting in a pilot seat, the same one that Simon came out of? Did that upload his brain somehow? Why would he be trapped inside of a robot that's been laying there for weeks? But Simon finds a battered construct that he can then data mine.
Everything from the ferrets to the concept. Anyone ever gets this for you again, they're gonna have a hell of a
Get the fuck away from me!
This construct murdered Carl, and then Amy retaliated, destroying it. But as Simon walks down another hall, he finds a dead corpse.
Oh god, he's dead? He's dead.
The ID badge says Carl Semken, the same man who's inside the robot. And Simon can data mine the exact same death we just heard moments ago. There's a note on Amy's locker also, saying that we should turn around and leave. Carl and Amy were meant to keep the reactor running so the rest of Pathos 2 could continue to get power. But after gaining the ID badge from Carl, we can now override the lockdown. There's also an email between Heather and Amy saying how they can get 25 years of power production from Upsilon as long as they seal the right places off from the constructs potentially destroying it. Though to get the comms room active, Simon needs to divert power from somewhere. On his way to divert power, however, he finds a room with a note going over something called a black box that everyone in Pathos 2 had installed in their heads before working here. It says that it constantly relays information back to the WOW, the AI system that is all over Pathos 2, to regulate temperature and systems across the sites for optimal living conditions. Surely that would not go wrong in any way, shape or form, right? Though Simon decides to turn off the power from one of the buildings to reroute it to the comms tower. But obviously rerouting the power inevitably caused the construct to gain access to this area. So Simon had to sneak past the creature back to the terminal and power up the comms tower safely. But now with the door safely closed on it, Simon can relax. And there's a set of corrupted audio logs that were sent here before the lockdown that Simon can restore and listen to.
Jonesy, early morning for an evac, am I right?
It will do. I wanted to introduce you to Amy and Carl. They'll be doing the talking as soon as I leave for Theta. Say hello.
Hey, Theta.
Hello.
Hey, guys. I'm Peter Straski, dispatcher at Theta. Just let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
I suppose that's it. I'll see you real soon, when we arrive.
All right, Jonesy. Have a safe trip.
Hello? Peter, was it?
Yes, I'm here. What's up?
We're getting out. I just want to tell you that I'm going to seal the comm center now, so this is definitely the last you'll hear from us. If we don't show up in the next couple of hours, send in the cavalry.
Hang on. What's happening? It's still the same plan, right?
Yep. We'll head for the shuttle and ride it directly to Theta.
Okay, good. I'll rally the troops for a welcome party.
That's what I like to hear.
One thing about Pathos 2 is the communication cannot be freely established between sites, so what horrors are unfolding on the others aren't always known elsewhere. There's also a notice board of all the sites that are stationed around the planet, with transcripts and emails attached to each major city. Every note details about an apocalypse happening, described as an impact event. Something clearly happened on the surface that ruined a lot of the world. Is that why Pathos 2 is like this and so run down? How long has this place been abandoned down here? Hopefully Catherine hasn't left her post yet.
There's something better here. Here.
Though we can tune into the other sites and hear what friendly messages are waiting for us.
Here is help. There's nothing left to live for.
Hey, are you there? I found the dome ceiling.
Oh, that's better. Simon, was it?
Jarret, Simon Jarret.
Hi, Simon. I'm Catherine. Have you figured out what's going on yet?
Me? I was hoping you'd have some answers.
I probably have some. What do you want to know?
Where do you even begin? I mean, what is this place? How did I get here? And why do the robots talk like they're people?
Well, you're at Upsilon, clearly. Have you never been there before? Where did you work?
The Grimoire in Toronto. Is that really important?
No, I mean, where did you work at Pathos 2?
I don't know what that is.
That's unexpected. Did you come directly from Toronto?
Yeah, I did. And it was very unexpected.
Have you seen any people? Like staff or field technicians?
Only robots. Crazy ones.
This is all so strange.
You're telling me. What was that? Whoa!
What's going on?
I think this place is about to collapse. What do I do?
Simon, come to Lambda.
How do I get there?
There are shuttle trains connecting all the sites. Find one and come here. I'll wait for you.
Last time I checked, humans can't breathe underwater.
Shit! Where should I? Oh, fuck!
somehow, Simon is still perfectly alive.
What? What the hell? How is this possible? This is insane!
Simon's hallucinations are slowly breaking down.
Where did I get a flashlight?
He's slowly seeing the truth, or at least part of the truth. I don't think the devs could have picked a better setting for a horror game. Stranded deep underwater at the bottom of the sea. This is not a place made for humans. So now, Simon had to find a shuttle to Lambda, so that he could go to Catherine and maybe they could figure out what was going on with this place. It's interesting to note that Catherine was extremely shocked at the idea of Simon being here. She couldn't understand the idea that someone who wasn't already working at Pathos 2 would magically appear out of nowhere. I like that even now at the bottom of the sea, humans can't give up their little things like street lamps. We have certain things we like, and we don't give up on them. Though Simon comes across another data buffer that he can listen to.
Come in, Theta. You better answer me, Strasky. Come on!
Amy, where are you?
The fields. I had to leave.
Is Carl with you?
It all went to hell.
Hold on. You got the power automated, right? The plant is safe? We need the power to keep the sites running.
Oh, fuck the power! Fuck you, Strasky! The machines killed Carl.
Ah, shit. All right, calm down. It'll be okay. Can you get back to Theta?
Yeah. I think so. I'll head for the shuttle, the Aux.
Good luck, Amy. Rooting for you.
As I said before, the communication between these places is shit, so most of the time nobody knows what's going on between the sites. Something is causing these creatures to live on. After everything has fallen to destruction and loads of the humans seem to be dead, these creatures are living out here, floating in the ocean, seemingly alive. At what point does survival become too much of a cost to bear, living trapped inside a machine at the bottom of the sea, mindlessly wandering? Is that alive? Is that good forever? I think most people would say no. Though after reaching the shuttle to Lambda, Simon finds a little robot that he frees, and it seems rather happy. Another one of those creatures. They're called a scavenger, and this one can be seen bashing its head repeatedly into the side of a building. A strange red tower makes Simon's vision glitch. It's odd that Simon's vision glitches, like a malfunctioning camera, isn't it? Though he finds a door to the Lambda shuttles, and our little robot friend helps us get it open.
Well, thanks, little guy.
Isn't it interesting to think that the only robot that isn't human-like is the only normal one we've experienced so far?
Let's hope the shuttle still works.
The place is a complete wreck, overrun with moss and coral as the place slowly begins to leak.
Strasky? Come in, Theta. What? I can't. Where are you now? Strasky! I'm at the shuttle, but it's not looking good. The lights flicker like mad. I think the power regulator is broken. I have to fix it. I don't want to get stranded halfway to Theta. What was that? I can't hear you. Don't worry, I'll fix it. Somehow.
So Amy was fleeing Upsilon. Something broke that she clearly didn't manage to fix, and the shuttle is still here. So what happened to her? And Simon finds a data pad with a tab labelled Impact Event. It details how the Earth was struck by a comet on the 12th of January, which wiped out almost all surface living life on Earth. However, Pathos 2 remained completely unharmed, being deep below the water. The people on Pathos 2 are the last of humanity, which explains why this place is so run down. though Simon tries to turn the power back on and it fails, so he does the only logical option.
Jesus Christ! What the hell?
And fingers the wow's flower. But to get the shuttle working again, Simon will have to find some other way that isn't fingering an alien flower. He finds a room glowing in the distance, with an alive human in the corner.
Hey, are you...
Don't hurt me!
Can I help?
They won't let me die. Nothing is allowed to die.
What happened?
An accident. Fixing the power. I was going to Theta.
Anything I can do?
If you see Masters or Holland, tell them I need help. Okay? Amy needs help.
The wow is keeping Amy alive by artificial lungs. She isn't allowed to die.
No!
Shit. Are you okay? Are you okay?
I don't know. I want to go home.
Simon has the option to keep Amy alive or pull the plug, killing her. So Simon leaves, letting her live. Is that wrong to do? To leave a human there perpetually being kept alive? Would death be better for her? She clearly didn't want to die, so maybe in this instance, it's better to leave the person alone and let them do what they want. But Simon puts his Omni tool inside the shuttle and prepares for launch.
Shuttle J6 activated. Warning, unreliable power. Proceed with caution.
And while proceeding with lots of caution, he heads towards Lambda. If you were given the choice, would you want to live forever? I think a lot of people would logically say no, but I'm not so sure what I'd pick if I were on the brink of death and given a lifeline.
Welcome to Pathos 2, your expressway to the stars. What started as a thermal mining operation in the 60s has now become home to the Omega Space Gun, the world's most affordable way to launch satellites and deep space probes. Our unique Atlantic Ocean location allows for this gigantic coil gun, running longer than a marathon, to safely launch projectiles without risk of damaging the payload with risky combustion. The station spans multiple sites and has a diverse staff of engineers and scientists. Together they are able to produce, assemble, and launch the world's most sophisticated spacecrafts. In addition to our principal operation, Pathos 2 is also the home for multiple research projects within the marine sciences, including hydroculture, turbulence, and deep-sea construction. We are now leaving Upsilon for Lambda. Lambda is Pathos 2's shipping dock and transportation hub. There you will be able to find shuttle trains leading to all the other parts of the station.
And with that helpful information out of the way, Simon is almost at Lambda. But of course, nothing ever goes correctly when the world has gone to shit. But after surviving the shuttle crash, which is quite surprising, he grabs the Omni tool and exits out of the shuttle tunnel that's completely flooded. He hears some sort of phone ringing, and it's from Catherine.
Simon, are you there?
Catherine, is that you? I was on my way, but then the shuttle train, it fucking crashed.
Are you alright? The system says the section is sealed for suspected hull breach.
No, I'm not alright. What the hell happened to the world? Why are we underwater?
Well, you're really out of place, aren't you? Look, don't worry about that right now. I realize you're confused, but you're so close to Lambda. If you just keep going.
How close? Can I walk there?
Yeah, but the tunnel is locked off to protect the overall structure from collapsing. What you need to find is your section's maintenance hatch. It'll lead outside.
Maintenance hatch. No problem.
What is that? What's going on out there? I gotta go. See you soon, Simon.
Catherine leaves, something else grabbing her attention on the other end. So Simon continues on his way, waddling through the broken tunnel and finds a door labelled exit. He continues through the maintenance hatch, once again being shocked that he can breathe underwater.
I can find Lambda, right? I mean, really, how big can this ocean be?
Oceans, Simon, are pretty bloody big. They take up most of the planet's surface. But thankfully, there's several signs that show that Lambda is only 350 meters away. With more scavengers wandering around, saying that it shouldn't have trusted them. Who shouldn't they have trusted?
What's making that noise?
All of the robots will chase after Simon for structure gel. What does this gel do? Simon eventually reaches Lambda safely, managing to avoid the scavengers that are trying to scavenge his body. The door creaks open, with the years of moss being torn off. Finally, Simon would see another human, Catherine. Hopefully after they get to talk face to face, he'd be able to get out of here and find a way to get his old life back. Lambda looks like it's in far better condition than Upsilon, and hasn't been totally consumed by WoW yet. Though, something horribly glitches Simon's camera.
Catherine?
Be quiet! Don't look at it!
This creature is called a flesher. They're completely naked and will get aggressive and attack when looked at. If you don't look at them or don't get too close, you're fine. So Simon goes to check on Catherine.
I'm right next to you.
No, not you too. I was really hoping you were human.
Don't let the circuitry fool you. I was human once.
Can't take it anymore. Everything's fucked. I give up. There's nothing left.
Calm down. It's not the end of the world.
You sure? It sure as hell looks like it. For all I know, there's no one left except for me.
What do you mean? I'm right here.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I meant any humans left except for me.
Have you looked at yourself lately? You're a walking, talking diving suit with some electronics slapped on for good measure.
I don't...
You don't want to think about it? We'll start thinking about it.
I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be this. I want out.
Before you do anything hasty, could you help me with something?
What?
I was trying to find out what happened with my project when that brute knocked me to the ground.
Your project? How could anything possibly matter when you know you're a stupid robot in a stupid dead world?
Okay, focus. I need you to fix me so I can get back to work. Then you can sulk as much as you want.
You gotta be kidding, right? I think I have a better chance of building myself a time machine than of putting you back together.
I just need to access the computer. Oh, is that an Omnitool you're carrying?
Oh, the door opener? I picked it up at Upsilon where I woke up.
That'll have to do. Plug it into the terminal.
Sure, whatever.
So Simon reluctantly obliges.
When the Omnitool is loaded, just plug my Cortex chip into the tool.
What's a Cortex chip?
It will be obvious. I'll eject it for you. Just grab the chip and slide it into the Omnitool. Come on, I just need you to do this one thing for me.
Sure, whatever.
He grabs Catherine's Cortex chip. Cortex chips are standard connectors over Pathos 2, capable of carrying and housing the neurographs that run the AIs through this world.
Just pretty much anything will fit. Oh, this feels weird. I'm in the Omnitool? Thanks.
So, what's the project about?
My project? Oh, well, I saved all the people on the station as brain scans and put them into an artificial world. We were gonna launch it into space to save it from, all of this.
Are you telling me that you were going to launch a computer world filled with people into space?
Yes. It was just a pet project at first, but it got really serious after the comet took out the surface. Then suddenly it became very important, and it was officially named the Ark.
That's appropriate. How far did you get?
I don't know. That version of me that I am. It came from a scan I did pretty early on. The living Catherine could very well have finished the project and launched it. I guess she could even still be alive. Weird thought.
So the talking robots, are they also scans you did?
They could be, but I doubt it. I'd expect much more sense if that was the case. All right, finally.
What's happening?
I managed to restore some data from the backup server. This should tell us everything we need. Oh. Could you do me a favor and run into the other room and have a look? I don't seem to be able to view the files in this condition. I need to know that the Ark is safe.
Sure, Kath.
Thanks, I'll unlock the door.
Brain scans are a very common practice here. It's what all the robots have inside of them.
What was it you said before? You're from Toronto?
Yeah, I just went in for a brain scan and suddenly here I am.
That doesn't make any sense. How? Why would anyone bring a scan from Toronto?
You think that's strange? What if I tell you it was back in 2015?
Whoa.
This game takes place in 2104.
What happened before? That creature was strangely overbearing.
Yeah, it basically exploded with electromagnetism.
That's bad for us, right?
Confusing at least. Gives the senses a good punch.
Catherine is something called a neurograph brain scan, a model of the real Catherine's brain being run in a simulation on a Cortex chip. If these neurographs are stored forever on some sort of hard drive, and they think they're human and believe it no matter what, are they really ever dead? Could you argue that this is a person, or is it just code pretending to be human?
Just check the computer.
Yes, look for anything about the Ark.
If you think about it, all a human brain is a series of connected wires with ones and zeros, signals of on and off being rapidly transmitted. A neurograph is just simulating that, but on a computer system. Though on this computer, there's a series of interviews about people's opinions on the Ark.
What are your thoughts on the Ark project?
The idea is just incredible. By every definition. It really makes you think about what it means to be human.
What makes you say that?
Beyond the basics. Beyond the superficial. I'm convinced there's something with even greater value. You have provided a platform, which is not necessarily restricted to our digital progeny, but a means of actual survival. It's my sincerest belief that we can go on living through the reality of continuity.
This person, Mark Sarang, believes that once your brain is scanned, that version is you.
From inside the Ark?
Yes, that's some early renders of the world inside.
Looks a whole lot comfier than this place.
The Ark is a supercomputer that is designed to be connected to a satellite. When it's active, it's capable of running simulations of all the neurographs simultaneously, as well as the world that they occupy. It's a classic argument of, are we in a simulation? Technically, with the people inside the Ark, you could live forever, right? There would be no need for death, no need for disease. You could live peaceful tranquility forevermore without the fear of dying. The Ark sure looks like a much better reality to live in forever than this bleak place that Simon's currently in. Though there's this interesting survey that the occupants of the Ark are going to get and take when they first load into it. This survey will stay consistent through the whole game. It's interesting how your answers change over time with it. But after completing the survey, Simon finds the Ark Tracker, a convenient piece of software.
I found a tracker homed in on the Ark.
Oh, that's clever. I wonder if I thought of that. Does it still work? I really need to know what happened to it.
I think so. It's doing something at least.
Where is it?
Hold on. I'm trying to find it.
And Simon finds the Ark at the last site of Tau.
I found it. It's at a site named Tau.
Oh, no, it's on Earth. It's so close to Phi, they almost made it. Damn it, it won't make it for long in that state. A couple of decades at most. That's not much to build a future.
If we got to it, could we get on the Ark?
I suppose, but I'm not exactly flexible at the moment.
I'll take us there. I can move, jump, swim, sort of. You're stuck in the door opener, the Omni tool. I'll just carry you there and you'll show me what to do.
That sounds really risky. Besides, I don't like the idea of you carrying me around.
Come on, Catherine. This is what you wanted to do. Your final mission. Let's launch the Ark.
We would need to find a way to get into the Abyss. Can't take the climber without a power suit. We probably have to go to Theta and pray that Dunbat's still working.
Okay, so we go to Theta.
I don't know, it's pretty far.
Catherine, look around. What else is there to do? You know what? I found a sunken vessel just outside. Bet that could take us to Theta.
Really?
Didn't look completely out of action. It even lit up a little when I tried the Omni tool on it.
Okay then, let's have a look. I'll just eject from this thing. Don't forget to take me with you.
So Simon decides that the only option is to head to Tau himself to rescue the Ark, seemingly the last hope of humanity. Would you want to live forever in a computer simulation while the whole world is dead? Is that a life that's worth living? Let's say you could simulate your life forever, live on and on in ignorance of the horrors, then would that be something good? What actually dictates a life worth living? Simon also finds a letter from a person called Chris's dad. He wishes his son the best under the waves, and has accepted that he is going to die from the comet hitting the Earth.
There's really no way around this. A freaking comet killed the planet.
Afraid so.
You were all stranded down here.
And we were the lucky ones.
The lucky ones. The lucky ones stuck under the ocean, slowly rotting as the world burns.
Can I pull the Omni tool out?
Wait. Okay, just be sure to plug me in again at some point.
You got it.
Good luck, Simon.
The neurograph works like a simulation in a game. As soon as you pause the game, the simulation pauses. So while Catherine isn't plugged in, she's paused. She doesn't exist, but she does at the same time. As soon as she's plugged back in, the game starts again. So, what does that mean? Are you dead? No? Are you alive? Not really.
What? What is this? Curie Emergency Vessel 4. Hey, Simon, can you hear me?
I hear you. Can you get this thing running?
Hang on, I'll give it a try. Sorry, it's dead.
Worth a shot?
The CV came from Curie. It was a ship that used to make runs between Lambda and Lisbon. Looks like their wreck is close. Maybe you can find a vessel like this one inside.
Sounds like a plan.
I'll just save the security information and update the Omni tool. There. Should help you get around.
Great.
So, Simon walks towards Curie, in the hopes of finding another recovery vessel to travel the long distances. Sadly, it can't be walked, as that would take far too long. But while on the way, Simon comes across a WoW-affected creature. Though after walking for what feels like forever, Simon makes it to Curie. The Curie is a semi-submersible research vehicle, operated and owned by Carthage Industries. Carthage is one of the two main companies that owns Pathos 2, as well as producing a lot of the buildings and technologies present within the game. The other main company is Hamatsu Technologies. But after climbing up some winding steps, Simon makes it to the Curie.
Alright, we're in. Let's find a working escape vessel.
I find it quite ironic that they're looking for an escape vessel, something used in an emergency, to just travel around. The design of these creatures are genuinely horrific. Here you can see the concept art of one of them, along with the actual renders of the creatures found in this game. They feature a naked body, with a tangled mess of WoW growth where the head is supposed to be, digging deeper into the body. This makes me wonder two things. Why is the WoW connected to a human, and who were these people before this happened? Surely this wasn't like this before the comet hit. There's lewd posters plastered all over the Curie. Clearly the crew had their interests. It's something about being human that we just can't understand. The idea that our whole civilization being wiped out by a big rock. It doesn't make sense, does it? Personally, I'd like to live my life in complete and utter ignorance of the fact a comet could wipe out all of humanity.
Huh? What? Oh, you made it! This is much better. Let's see if we can't get this thing moving. Wait, what? Safety locks are blocking the vessel's release. Are you kidding? How much more of an emergency could this ship be in? It's on the bottom of the sea. Take a look at the engine room and see if you can figure it out. Maybe there's an override or something.
There's monsters out there, like the ones we saw at Lambda.
The more reason to get going.
What?
Come on, you know the drill. Don't look at them or get too close. It'll mess with your circuits.
Shit.
But stupidly, the escape vessel wouldn't unlock unless the ship thought it was an emergency. Apparently the end of the world isn't that much of an emergency. That's a level of calm I dream for. But Simon, either way, heads off to create an emergency, though on the TVs in the common room we can see the last flashing images of the surface as it was burned by the comet. These are some of the images, and even though they're hard to make out in places, it truly paints a horrific picture of how ruined the surface of the Earth is. It looks like something straight out of hell, as if it opened up and swallowed the whole Earth whole. No wonder the only humans left are miles under the ocean, living on the seafloor like bugs.
Attention crew, this is your captain speaking. The final efforts to stop the comet have officially failed. Impact is imminent. Curie is safe while submerged. The crew, what's left of it, is doing okay. For the rest of the world, there's no good way to describe it. The destruction is absolute. The surface is just gone.
It's a very surreal thing to hear that the whole world is destroyed, burning and crushed by a comet, similar to what happened to the dinosaurs. But Simon makes it to the reactor room, a place on the Curie that holds a small nuclear reactor that kept the ship alive and full of electricity when it wasn't half sunk beneath the sea. The WOW has plugged itself into it, keeping the core stable as it harvests the energy, using it to keep itself alive. The WOW, as an artificial machine, requires electricity to keep functioning, so it makes sense that it repurposes Curie reactor to keep itself alive. Is the WOW alive? But as Simon needs to convince the ship it's an emergency, he pulls out the WOW's connection to the reactors, which inevitably disables it. As he spots a very happy flesher wanting his flesh.
Proceed to the emergency.
So now with a proper emergency at hand, Simon races to the escape vessel with the flesher chasing him. But he makes it back to the vessel safely without being killed.
Okay, I'm in. So let's get the hell out of here.
It's taking so long.
We need to pump all the water out before we take off.
Can't you do it any faster?
I'm almost there. All right, here we go. Hold on to something.
Though without any problems, the escape vessel detaches from the Curie and floats away.
Can you steer this thing?
Starboard rudder is choking, but I can compensate.
How do you even know what direction we're going in?
Don't worry, I'm hooked up to the navigator. We're headed for Theta, should be a matter of minutes.
I thought I was done for back there.
Seems like the WOW is keeping the Curie from going into a catastrophic failure state. I mean, how did it get on the ship?
Are you talking about the black tentacles in the engine room? I've seen them before at Upsilon. What are they?
They're a manifestation of a malfunctioning station-wide artificial intelligence called the WOW.
Station-wide? So we just made a powerful enemy.
No, it's not like that. The AI isn't a persona. It doesn't feel or think like we do. It's more like a cancer.
But without the WOW, the reactors explode.
Is that the ship?
Looks like your sabotage worked better than expected. Brace for impact! Hold on, the blast just pushed us off the plateau!
What does that mean?
If I don't hit Delta, we're dead.
Please remain seated.
Funny that Catherine used the word dead to describe a computer program turning off. But thankfully, a rescue team comes to save Simon. And it's that little robot buddy that we saved earlier. And it happily chimes, greeting us.
Oh, hey, little guy. Didn't expect to see you again. Don't worry, Kath. I'll find a way to Theta.
I find it quite interesting that the only robot that hasn't been corrupted by human touch is the only one that seems happy and pleasant. What does that say about humans?
Stratsky. Can you hear me? Theta, listen. Akers is headed for Theta.
Delta Luma Organics, getting a signal but no audio.
Stratsky, it's Como Raby. Akers has gone mad. He's dangerous. Stratsky!
Sorry, Delta. Still no audio. Try calling from another access point.
Stratsky, I can try sending. I have pictures.
These people were struggling to get to the next base, as their oxygen was slowly running out. So she eventually passed out from lack of oxygen, and likely passed away soon after, as her brain went dead. Is there really ever a nice way to die? Granted, there are certain ways of dying that sound terrible, but always sounds nice. Delta is Pathos 2's primary space gun capsule manufacturing center. It consists of several outbuildings, including a control room, antenna array, and Zeppelin landing pad, and a rail system along which robot assembly arms are situated. Clearly, all of the machinery that used to work overtime here at Delta hasn't worked in many years. Though Simon ventures into one of the outlook buildings inside of Delta, and he finds massive trails of blood, along with a pair of gouged out eyes resting on the floor. There's drawings on the walls and pictures of corals hung up around them. There's also a message written on the wall in structure gel. The light, it burns my eyes. He's telling me I don't need this virtuous flesh inside my skull to see salvation. I will gladly remove them, stop them from obfuscating this divine mission. With another note on the wall reading, my reflection in the black blood of the warden whispers, I need to save them from this hell. Let them sleep. Lock them in lucid dreams I've seen. This is the room of a man called Terry Akers. He was the oldest man who was working at Pathos 2, at the age of 66, and was the overseer of Site Delta. When everyone else was evacuated out of Delta, because the WoW slowly corrupting things, he elected to stay behind and oversee the place to make sure it didn't fall to ruin. That is when he was left alone in his room. Yet Simon finds another talking robot.
Hey, could you maybe help? I need to get to Theta.
Don't worry about it. I got this.
Hey, you!
Give me some room, will you?
Hey, can you hear me?
Help me out here, will you? I think I need some vacation soon. Have to speak with Akers about that. Isn't that right, Akers?
A lot of cargo was transported out of Delta with Zeppelins, a floating carrier with a platform beneath it. So Simon heads off to re-establish connection and power somehow, but thankfully the robot can bust open the doors for us. I think it's a really smart addition to have this robot in the game that's friendly. So far, every other one has tried to kill us, but this lowers our guard quite a bit. And inside, he finds an old dreary office that is overrun by the WoW, and he finds a set of notes saying how the whole Delta crew would be evacuated to Theta on the 14th. But even though Terry was very friendly and said fuck you, the Delta crew got evacuated anyways, to which Stratsky never receives a reply, being 4 months until he sends the next one. I can't imagine what extreme isolation like that does to your brain, being without human connection for months upon months while the world is dying. But while wandering around, Simon finds a corpse that's mutated. How is that person still alive down here? There's also several corrupt audio files that are present, so Simon restores them.
Stratsky, you can see the Zeppelin now.
Good. Sorry about the mess. Without the positioning system, the Zeps just keep losing their set routes. Voljet did say that you could have fixed it on your side by redigging the antenna. Guess it doesn't matter now. Are all of you coming?
No, just me, Goy, and Creer. Akers is set on being a stubborn old man.
All right. See you soon, Brandon. Happy evac.
5 months later.
Peter, can you hear me?
I hear you, Terry. I mean, Mr. Akers, sir.
I've changed my mind. I would like to come to Theta. Let Delta sleep.
Of course. Wow. Honestly, didn't expect to hear from you again. Such a long time since you checked in. We have a few divers in a Zeppelin surveying Lambda at the moment. I'll just make sure they pick you up when they're done.
Thank you for the warning. I'll make sure they feel welcome.
Okay, see you when you get here.
Akers slowly went mad in his isolation. And the little robot opens another room for us. There's a message that never arrived to Theta, with one of the crew members who picked up Akers pleading for them to not let him in. He stole the Zeppelin for himself, along with another corpse, likely Akers doing.
You saw that, right? You saw Akers fucking injecting that shit into them?
He got me pretty bad.
I think I made it worse pulling away. I can feel it bleeding out. Can you see him?
Fuck! He got on the Zeppelin. He's going back to Theta. We have to warn them.
Good luck with that. The platform radio is dead. Remember.
The Lumar Annex should work. It has to.
Yeah. You go. I'm not gonna make it. I'm just not.
Come on, Evans. We have to warn them. Come on.
Akers was injecting structure gel into them. Structure gel is a very important compound in the world of SOMA. Think of it as biological wires. It allows signals from machines to travel freely around the liquid, allowing for them to interact more fluidly and cleanly. Though after operating the extremely difficult and complex communication system, connections re-established, so Simon can summon a Zeppelin.
Transport active. Unspecified cargo.
That's definitely the Zeppelin.
The Zeppelin's a massive in person, probably the biggest vehicle in the whole game. This, however, is the same one that Akers stole when he went to Theta.
Do you hear me speaking? Of course you do. I wanted to let you know that I know. You didn't blindly pick me out of the herd. The slow waves of Delta crashing against the shore have an undertow that pulls you into a slumber. It's a beautiful thing. And I won't be selfish. I will help. Tuck them in. Watch them sleep. They too will find peace within the universe of the WoW.
That was Akers talking to the WoW.
Calm down, we're safe.
Oh, it's really disconcerting popping in and out of existence like that. Where are we now?
Delta, at least that's what you said before the crash.
Oh, right. Of course. Is this a Zeppelin?
Appropriately named. You think it can get us to Theta?
It's a cargo transport. They use them for moving materials between the sites, anything that's too big for the shuttles. I'm sure it can carry us. Why won't it work? Come on. Oh, the tool chip is bust.
Isn't that part of the Omni tool?
Look who's been paying attention.
I have to deal with that back at Upsilon.
Then you know how it works. We need to get a new tool chip and switch it.
Care to point me in the direction of the closest tool chip storage?
I think it would be easier to just take one from a robot.
What? Just knock a robot over the head and steal their chips?
The toolbox over there says it has a stun baton. You could use that.
Come on. I don't want to hurt anyone. Isn't this a bit much?
It's just a robot, Simon.
We're just robots. Sort of. I'll get us a chip.
It's an interesting dilemma, saying that others are just robots, but we're human and real.
I feel awful.
The robots only appear intelligent. They're much more like dogs than humans.
I wouldn't hit a dog.
Sorry, poor choice of words.
I don't want to hurt anything.
Well, we need a tool chip or we're stuck here. Take the stun baton from the box I opened and hunt down a robot with a working tool chip.
Surely if they're alive and happy, why harm them? If they're just a simulation or a brain scan running complex lines of codes, then surely they're real, right? Who are we to decide who is real and who isn't? Even if they're living forever and being forced to go on, if the person is happy and unaware of what's going on, then surely that's a good thing to live for.
Oh, come on.
Though obviously, the game wouldn't make it easy for us to just stun them. It needs to make us feel bad, as the creature wants to fight for his life. as it continues to complain about its pain as its systems slowly shut down.
This works.
So Simon takes the Cortex chip. Cortex chips are obviously where the AI is stored, so are we taking this person's soul by stealing their Cortex chip?
Thanks, Simon. Don't be mad, okay? We really needed that chip. We'd be stuck here.
Could you do it? Kill a robot like that?
I get attached to them too. I'm not a monster. But in this case, it had to be done.
He was talking. I mean, he was delusional, but he seemed sincere. Present.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's fine.
Was he really that different from us? It's just beginning to sink in. I mean, really sink in. I'm a robot.
Didn't we cover this already?
Guess I've known ever since I woke up at Upsilon. I just keep suppressing it. Like my brain doesn't want me to think about it. It's really getting hard not to think about it.
Yeah. Could you maybe hit that switch over there so we could get moving?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Catherine, clearly still accustomed to being a digital consciousness, doesn't seem to care for Simon's struggles.
Thanks.
I heard this interesting thought experiment recently. Let's say you were given the option between living for 5 more minutes or living 1 more week. You can choose whichever option you want. Most people would choose the 1 week, right? Then, near the end of that time again, I ask you a second time, do you want to live for 5 more minutes or 1 more week? People would choose 1 more week again. Then continue this on and on and on, years into the future. You'd still probably pick 1 more week. So, if you keep picking over and over again to live 1 more week, why not just choose to live forever? It's the idea of control that gives the thought experiment more comfort. The idea that I can choose to exit whenever I want. That's the thing that makes living forever more scary. The idea that you don't have control. You will be forced to go on and on and on forever. But if you can just choose to have 1 more week, then that's my choice. It's just 1 more week. I can choose to exit whenever I feel like it.
You did really good back there, Simon. We got a slight delta detour, but we're back on track.
Yeah.
We should touch down on a cargo platform just outside Theta. Then we just head inside, grab the Dunbat, and head down the abyss. 4,000 meters. That's a long way. We don't have to worry, though, because with the Dunbat, the Ark could have been in the Mariana Trench. It'll hold for anything.
That's great.
And then we can start listening to other people when they talk, because that's how conversations work.
What? Oh, sorry. I just can't stop thinking about what we've become. It's clear that we're no longer human. But then how can I feel like Simon? How can I feel like anything at all? I mean, technically, I don't have any ears, no mouth. Christ, that's a weird thing to think about. I mean, I'm making sounds. I'm still saying things.
You sure are. Okay. Your new body most likely has senses similar to those you had as a human. And your mind, only knowing one way to perceive the world, superimposes that skill set on top of your new features.
So my mind is covering it up, pretending nothing's different.
If it didn't, you'd probably be incapable of interacting with the world at all. And the stress would either kill you or make you go insane.
So I've found a good balance between awareness and ignorance. Does that mean I shouldn't think about this stuff, or are my thoughts actually making me cope? Could I tip the balance by suddenly gaining some insight and go insane?
I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, we have real things to deal with. Saving mankind, remember? Speaking of which, we're closing in on Theta. I'll eject the Omnitool. As always, don't forget to take me with you.
Kath, before you go, the artificial intelligence you mentioned in the escape vessel?
Uh-huh, yeah, the Warden unit, the WOW.
Is it the WOW's fault that we're like this? I mean, it seems like something an unreliable AI would do.
I suppose it set the ball in motion, but it's not directed with purpose. It's really complicated to explain how machines think, Simon. Concentrate on getting inside Theta, okay? See you soon.
So Simon thankfully arrives safely at Theta. The WoW is just an artificial intelligence. It has certain goals to keep the people on Pathos 2 alive. It doesn't understand what alive means. All it knows is that that means they're not dead. Clearly, when the comet struck, the WoW interpreted that in a grim way.
Strasky, wake up Dr. Masters. We're bringing in anchors.
What's wrong?
What can I say? He's had a rough day.
Jesus Christ. He's all butchered by structure shrapnel. The WoW sure did a number on him.
Brandon, flip the panic switch on the suit. I don't want to burn through the oxygen.
You're kidding, right? He's fucking hanging on by a thread. We need to move him.
Strasky, get the infirmary ready. We need to move fast.
Wait. Where are Komorabi and the others?
This is all we got. I guess it's still at Delta.
Emma, I can't do this on my own. Grab the other side.
Strask, ready or not, we're coming in.
All right. See you soon.
So they bring the clearly infected Akers into Theta without knowing that he's been severely corrupted by the WoW and ingesting structure gel.
This thing on? Can everyone hear me?
Go ahead, Strom.
Listen up, all members of staff. The art project has caused a lot of arguments the last few months. I'm not going to pretend I understand what the hell Sarang talked about and how his continuity suddenly made sense to kill yourself. For the fucking love of God, or whatever you think is important, don't kill yourself. This place is miserable enough. Don't force your friends to clean up your blood. Rest in peace, all of you. Good?
Beautiful, sir. All right, everyone. Show's over. Get back to work.
And we get hints towards someone called Sarang, who believed in a theory of continuity with the Ark. He believes that if you offer yourself extremely close to when your brain scan was completed, that you will live on through your scan. It makes no logical sense, but what can you expect from people who are rotting at the bottom of the sea of a burning planet? Though Simon finds another radio, with Catherine on the other end.
Sarah, are you there? Who is this? Catherine? I'm busy working. Oh, I just wanted to say thank you for what you did. Don't worry about it, but you should stand up for yourself. I mean, Strohmeyer doesn't have that kind of authority. You can just tell him to go fuck himself. Oh, I just don't. I'm not that kind of a person. You can't expect people to fight for you all the time. You're a brilliant person, Kath. You're so smart it makes my head spin, but sometimes you just disappear into yourself. Suddenly it's like talking to a fucking 5-year-old. It's just hard. I can't just be more like that. Everyone would know I'm pretending. It's not too late to win people over. Strasky likes you. I like you. Reed likes you. Strasky likes everybody. Yeah, that's true. Wait, you think Reed likes me? Catherine, a lot of people like you. You just need to open up a little. Be more approachable. Can I get back to work now? I'd rather not be reprimanded twice in one day. Okay. See you back inside. Over and out.
Catherine was in charge of the art project. It was her idea to use the brain scans to make a simulated reality. So when people started offing themselves, Strohmeyer didn't take it kindly and blamed her for the suicides. Though on the outside of Theta is one of the most disturbing robots so far.
That's everything right? Thank you, Catherine. Wait. Am I already here?
It's a mockingbird of someone's brain scan being kept alive by the WoW.
Hello?
Who is that? Mark?
No, we haven't met before.
Is this Mark?
I think we're safe.
Oh, I was so worried something had gone wrong.
What's your name?
Robin Bass. Theta Field Service Technician.
Nice to meet you, Robin. How did you get here?
I got scanned, like the others. And then I killed myself. At least I think so. I can't remember that part.
How does that work? Did dying get you into the Ark?
Wow, you're definitely not from Theta. Let me guess, Omicron? Wasn't sure Catherine would be able to scan you guys. You're lucky. There was a lot of talk about this at Theta. The idea is, when you're activated in the Ark, there's basically two of you, right? One human, one living scan in the Ark. You don't want your copy to survive you. You yourself want to survive on the Ark. If the human you dies before the scan is initiated, or closely after, you yourself would live on in the Ark. Amazing, right?
Did Catherine put you up to this? Killing yourself?
Catherine Chun? No. I don't think you understand. She just did scans and put them into the Ark. I hope I get to meet her soon so I can apologize. She always got into trouble with Strohmeyer when someone killed themselves.
I think she's okay with it.
Where is everyone? I thought there would be like 40 or 50 people here.
I don't know. I'll let you know if I see anyone. Robin, I'm not sure how to say this.
What?
This is...
Yeah?
Pretty amazing, right? I mean, the Ark.
Yeah, it's great. Catherine and the guys have really pulled through. They saved us all.
How do you explain to someone that this isn't heaven, when actually, it's hell? There is an option to pull her plug, to take out the power the WoW is giving her and let her die. Would you do it? Would you pull someone's plug like that, even if they seem happy in the state they're in? It's strange to think that this person will continue on living there, forever trapped in a body at the bottom of the sea. Is that torture? We all die. The goal isn't to live forever. The goal is to create something that will. Humans did create something that lives forever, and it's horrific. So did we do something good? There's something horrific trapped inside this building, something nobody wants you to see. There's a big door for a reason, with bolts and locks with a key. There's something horrific hiding in this house, something lurking just for you. It will sit there, watch the hours go by as it waits just for me and you.
Hello? Anyone there?
The place seems devoid of all human life, as ever. One of this game's most fantastic abilities is its atmosphere. Being almost 10 years old and released in 2015, it still holds up amazingly to today's standards, making it a truly gut-wrenching experience for anyone who plays it. Though after using the emergency escape door, Simon plugs in Catherine.
Here? We're here! Okay, great. Time to hijack ourselves a submarine. There will be nothing stopping us when we have the Dunbat.
You guys sure have a lot of machines and vehicles down here. What makes this one so special?
It's the only transport that can go into the abyss without cracking like a can of soup.
If this is one of a kind, then how did they get the Ark down the abyss in the first place?
That's a good question. I suppose they did it the hard way and just walked.
Didn't realize that was an option. Kath, what's it like inside the Ark? Is it like a movie or virtual reality?
No, of course not. It's, like real life, but slightly better. Pleasant temperature, clean air, good weather.
So people in the Ark just walk around pretending it's the real world?
You don't have to pretend, it's perfectly immersive.
And it can just sustain itself?
Yes. Attached to a probe fueled by solar panels, it could survive for thousands of years.
That's amazing. Just thinking about the Earth being what it is and us setting out to save the final remains of humanity, it's...
Heroic.
At least it feels worth doing.
Here we go. The Dunbat. Ah, damn it. I knew it was too good to be true.
What's wrong?
It's quarantined. Hold on. We need a security cipher.
How bad is it?
It's we don't write these things down type of bad.
Maybe someone's still around who can tell us what it is.
Sure. Let's go with that. I'll just unlock the other doors for you so you can explore the station. We need to find someone who knows the cipher. It's the only way to fire up the Dunbat. Find someone who knows the security cipher.
There's several maps of this place available, all with black box beacons active, all not moving, assuming they're dead.
Looks like all your friends moved downstairs.
Why abandon the gate? And the habitat? That's so strange. I don't like this at all.
Most of the people on the staff list are either dead, missing, or seemingly alive. Though, as Simon needs a security cipher, he heads out to find someone who might know it, as Catherine kindly unlocks the doors for Theta around us. Though we can clearly see that the WoW's cancerous growths have spread around Theta.
What the hell are you doing?
I know it looks bad, but it makes me feel a lot better. Helps me focus.
That's the WoW you're hooking up to.
I need it, okay? I wouldn't have made it this far without it.
Let's just keep going.
Strange that the thing that has caused most of the destruction on Pathos 2 is the one that heals Simon.
What's so interesting downstairs? Just labs and offices. Maybe the shuttle station.
Should we go check?
Rather not. Got a bad feeling about this. Maybe they wanted to keep close to the shuttle station in case something went wrong.
You really stuck on that one.
I'm just worried about my colleagues.
As this version of Catherine is an earlier brain scan, she doesn't know what happened to them. It's interesting to think that you can be the same person, but not have the same memories. Though, in a bathroom, we get to see one of the most terrifying sights of this whole game. Simon is a walking, talking diving suit with some electronics slapped on for good measure. Horrific to think you're human, to be able to close your eyes and imagine your hands, your feet, but look in a mirror and see a grotesque amalgamation of parts staring back at you. There's several pneumatic locks on the doors, preventing something coming in or out. I like this part of the game a lot. It does a great job of humanizing the people in the game, giving them a living space that we can wander around and get an idea of the types of people that were here. Rather than just names on a board, this gives us a wonderful sense of realism. And we eventually find Catherine's room.
Hey, that's my room.
You want me to bring something? A souvenir?
No, it's just memories.
Cool fan.
Thanks. Reminds me of Taipei, my hometown.
What's the little projector? Looks homemade.
That's my attempt at building a vivarium. It's kind of a proto-ark.
A tablet on her desk has a journal of her making the Ark. It details how Imogen Breed tested a machine corrupted by the WoW called a vivarium. When the machine was activated, it perfectly mimicked the room and simulated Imogen inside of it. Yet the scans in this were perfect. This led Catherine to figure out that the WoW had been using pilot seats to steal brain scans from them using electromagnetic waves. So, given that the WoW figure out how to get the perfect brain scans, Catherine uses this to build the Ark, where she then uses the pilot seat method to scan people's brains that will eventually be loaded into the Ark. This is how so many robots on Pathos 2 have been human-like. The WoW had previously stolen people's brain scans and loaded them into machines. It likely interpreted this as keeping people alive and saving them.
You have a lot of toys. What's with the junk? Looks like something you'd fish out of the ocean.
Huh? Oh, you mean... Yeah, that's a part of Reed's vivarium. It's a long story. Forget it.
I guess one of the saddest things about being a digital consciousness would be not having boobs. A real tragedy. But after fully searching Catherine's room, we make it to Mark Sarang, the first person to kill themselves after a brain scan. There's a letter on his table that reads like a manifesto. It says that he folded cyanide salts into chewing gum, and when his scan is completed, he'll bite down on them, ending his own life. He says there is no tragedy to mourn as he's inside the Ark, victorious. There's also a recorder of him.
Did you know that the human body consists of up to 75 trillion individual cells? They typically don't stay with us till we die. Some live a few days, while others live a few years. We're not affected by their short lifespans, as they're replaced by new cells which help sustain our bodies. I don't think anyone would argue that we ever lose our persona due to this process. Yet we are clearly in a constant state of transformation. Then how do we remain the same? A continuous flow of thought and perception keeps an unbroken chain of continuity that we know as our self. Our conscious mind is not the pattern of our brain, but a continuous emergent entity based on that pattern. When Dr. Chun populates the Ark, she is capturing a moment of our existence and placing it inside the digital world. Soon you and your digital you will grow apart due to diverging experiences, but for a tiny window, you are the very same. With unbroken continuity, it will live on. A fulfilling life, no doubt, no less real than the one from which it was plucked. Now remember, you are not your body. You are the emergent entity. That entity just happens to occupy two places at once for a while. If you took away your body, you would simply be the only one you can be. The you inside the Ark. Let your body die and continue on in the digital paradise among the stars.
Delusion is an interesting thing. A false belief or judgment about external reality held despite incontrovertible evidence to the contrary. It's like a disease. Once a delusion takes hold in your brain, nothing can convince you otherwise other than yourself. Can you really blame people for holding on to hopeful delusions in a place so bleak and meaningless? There's also a classified letter from the parent company Carthage Industries that details the success of Mark making the WOW station-wide. Along with several drawings of Sarang monitoring the WOW and its progression through Psi Theta. There's another note from one of the followers of Sarang saying they're all dying anyways, so they're all in. She's trapped in the robot outside. A lot of humanity and religious beliefs circle around the idea of living forever. The Christians with their eternal afterlife in heaven or hell, Dharmic religions with the cycle of death and rebirth influenced by karma, among many other things. Most religions have some presence of you continuing on after you die. So when a comet hits the Earth, burning everything to the ground, and at the same time proving all these religions wrong, that there is no God, the last remaining survivors of humanity cling on to any idea that they can go on. Humans hate the idea of once we die, we die. Once we're done, we're done. So logically, they'd cling on to anything that would allow themselves to go on. Down one of the hallways, Simon can hear a horrific noise and sees a creature stumbling around in other people's quarters. This is Terry Akers. Though having found nothing that would indicate who knows the security cipher, Simon continues on and makes his way to Catherine's lab.
Welcome to my place. When I started the art project, I pretty much lived in this lab.
Cozy.
Unfortunately, the computer cannot connect to the servers that run the simulations, so Simon tries to reconnect them, and finds that the router needs to be reset in the sub-level basement. Basements are my favourite thing in horror.
This is where I did my scan. And all the others, I suppose.
You don't remember?
My scan was the first. Had to test the scanner before I could start making promises.
It's interesting that it saves you in a certain state, like a game was paused and you can't remember the rest of your life.
Strusky, come in. I need help in the lab, the scan room.
What happened?
Conrad killed himself after the scan.
Jesus, how?
Maser tool. What should I do?
I'm gonna need to tell Strohmeyer.
No, please! I'm so close. Strohmeyer's gonna shut down the art project. It's not my fault people keep killing themselves.
Catherine, what are you gonna do? It's not like you can sneak a 300-pound body out of the lab.
I know.
Catherine, are you okay?
Not even close.
The last 100 humans left on Earth, slowly killing themselves in the hopes of salvation.
Ah, I see.
What?
Check the terminal. I just want to make sure.
And finds brain scans of Munchie, Burke, his associate, and himself, Simon Jarret.
David Munchie. How did this... What is this? Kath, what is this? Why do you have a file of me?
You are one of Dr. Munchie's templates. A legacy scan.
What's a legacy scan?
They're historic templates for AI construction. Any self-respecting engineer wouldn't use legacies anymore, but they're great for learning. They come with every development kit.
So, my brain scan turned into a template for artificial intelligence.
You should be proud.
So much for that mystery. No magic or time travel needed. I was here all along, waiting for someone to shove a picture of my brain into a suit and hit the power button.
There's also a set of audio recordings of Simon back in 2015.
Okay, that's it.
Wow, that was fun.
That's a relief. Still figuring this out, so...
It was freaky. So many lights. What do we do now?
Paul and I are going to run tests for a week or so, and then we'll work out a roadmap to your recovery.
Well, I feel excited. Can't wait to get back to the living.
We've worked everything out. Everything is legal. Vouched for by Dr. Peake and Professor Way.
Oh, that's great news.
No big change in medication. You'll be taking an aspirin every morning, but that's about it. Paul worked out a diet with some variations you should try out. You can continue doing physical therapy. Also, there's some extra cardio training every other day.
Okay, getting complicated.
Don't worry, it's really not. We're going to keep an eye on you every week, so we'll be able to adjust the plan if needed. The model was sound. It should have worked.
It's not your fault, David.
I really wish things had turned out differently.
Yeah, me too.
I was supposed to save you.
Hey, you got my brain on file. Maybe you can put it to some use.
Yeah, who knows? You'd be okay with that? Using it for my research?
Sure. It's like a part of me lives on or something. Like a donated organ. You know what sucks about dying?
What?
The crash. Everything up till now. The brain damage. You guys, everything. It's made my life so much more real. I started thinking about all the things I was going to do. I'd never been more excited to be alive. All that hope. Wasted.
Simon only lived 1 more month after the scan. The real Simon was dead in 2015. You also have the option to erase the data of Simon. Would you erase yourself?
He's dead, Kat. The real Simon is dead. And I'm a replica of that scan Munchie did, thinking he's Simon.
What did you expect?
I don't know. I don't know what I was hoping for. An explanation? Maybe an apology?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not from you. Well, thanks, I guess. I deleted the file, so hopefully I'll be the last Simon to suffer through this place.
Ready to move on?
Yeah. Let's go.
How many Simons were there walking around through this place? How many Simons have there been? If he's a legacy scan that comes standard with every development kit, there could be thousands of him. Is that a version of living forever that anyone... Clearly, as the WOW's tentacles are in the machine, it got hold of Simon's brain scan and put it into his current body. It just so happened that the WOW put his body into something more functional.
Simon, the last report filed by the staff mentioned struggling with something called a proxy. The proxy we killed was blind, just like Akers, but it listens. Careful, we spotted 2 more by the infirmary.
What do they look like?
Not sure. It seems to be human enough to pass for a crew member at a distance. Tall, dark, and ultimately faceless seems to be what to look out for.
I'll keep my eyes open.
This is what a proxy looks like. It's a worker that has been mutated by contact to structure gel, and the WOW's influence over that. Their top half is completely bound together, and they're blind, but have an extremely good sense of hearing. They can hear Simon's flashlight turning off and on. They were previously a dead corpse, but the WOW, wanting to preserve life, considers a corpse that is wandering around walking again enough of the definition of life to accept it. Though in the server room, Simon finds something horrific. A person completely mutated by structure gel and the WOW being kept alive on life support. In the server room, you can hear the proxy stumbling around as it patrols the area. With yet another human entangled in the WoW, being forced to keep living as it pumps life into them. Simon reaches the control panel, but has to hold down a lever for 10 seconds to reset the router. This is one of the most tense moments of the game so far. Though Simon had to go back to the switch within 60 seconds to switch it back on to activate the systems. The proxy will now chase the player, so running is the best option. But after making it back alive, Simon can now start trying to run the simulations in Catherine's lab.
Good job, Simon.
This better have worked. I'm not going down there again. The legacy scan of me that was on the computer. What did you use it for?
It's a template that has an intelligence pathwork already etched into the base. So, if I wanted to build an AI, I wouldn't have to reinvent a whole model. I would be able to focus on the things that the AI is to be used for.
Is every AI self-aware? Do they also think they're Simon?
What? No, Simon, don't worry. It's not like we just put people into robots and machinery and let them roam free. That'd be really cruel. It doesn't work like that. Or at least it didn't used to work like that. Truly sentient machines thinking they're people is definitely new.
But you kept them sentient for the Ark.
Yes, and I basically had to invent the method.
But how can you tell the difference between an AI that has changed holding it back versus one that is truly free? Surely they're the same, just one is held in captivity for eternity.
This is where I would store the ARC scans.
Are they similar to my legacy file?
No, yours is flatter, if that makes sense, less dynamic.
Thanks. That makes me feel much better.
An intact memory chip. If we're lucky, we might be able to extract the cipher from it.
So Simon plugs it into the machine.
There should be a list of people. See if there's anyone who could know a security cipher.
We choose Brandon 1, one of Strohmeyer's workers.
Very promising. I'll just load him up and get the simulator going. There we are.
What are we doing exactly?
We're gonna have a talk with Mr. Wan. Use the computer to activate the simulation.
So we run the simulation with Brandon's brain scan.
That wasn't so bad. Strohmeyer really got me worked up, bastard. What? What happened? Where did everyone go?
Don't be afraid.
Chun? What happened? I can't see anything. There's nothing here.
It's okay. It's all a part of the scan.
No, that's a lie. You're lying.
Okay, calm down, Mr. Wan.
No. Well, why are you doing this to me? I trusted you, Chun. I trusted you!
Did we just bring that guy to life? I mean, he's a perfect scan, meant for the Ark. He's the real deal. And we turned him off. Took it all away again.
I really thought that was gonna work. Maybe we can try again.
This time, let's bring him to a cozy beach. I'm sure he'll enjoy that.
That wasn't so bad. Strohmeyer really got me worked up, bastard. What? How did I get here?
Mr. Wan, I need your help.
Dr. Chun, is that you? What happened? What is this place?
Listen, I really need your help. I need the new security cipher.
Dr. Chun? I hear your voice, but there's no one here. There's no one here. It's empty. It's too empty. There's something really wrong with this place. It's not real. This isn't real. I have to get out of here!
Are we reviving a dead man every time we do this?
Do we need to turn it off? Can we just keep him alive until we've got the cipher?
The longer he's exposed to the computer model, the more he'll get hung up on it.
So, what's wrong with letting him settle in a little?
It would drive him insane. So let's keep the session short and the suffering to a minimum.
I think we need to build the scene so it's more what he'd expect. As soon as he starts to doubt, we've lost him.
You're right. We need to think this through. We need some more data.
So Simon gets more data from the other computer, such as scans of other people, different test environments, to use on Brandon. So we boot him up again, in the scan room instead.
That wasn't so bad. Stromae really got me worked up, bastard. What? Where did... Alice?
Congratulations, Mr. Wan. The scan was successful.
Chun? Where's Alice?
She's fine. We don't have much time, Mr. Wan. I need the new security cipher.
What? Why? Why would you need that? This is the trick.
No, it's okay, I promise.
I knew you couldn't be trusted. None of this is real. But you won't break me, WoW. You hear me? You won't break me!
How many times are we gonna have to do this?
Brandon mentions someone called Alice. Maybe there's something in his room that Simon can use to pry the data out of him. It feels like we're just playing with a toy, not an actual person. It's tough to think of the person in the computer as being an alive being, something thinking, feeling, and existing just as code.
Here we go, Brandon Wan's room. I'll just override the lock for you. If we get to know him, maybe we can make the simulation a little smoother.
A letter from someone named Alice. They were together during the scan. You know her?
He was close with Coster. I would not have expected that. Can we use that somehow? Keep looking.
So Simon keeps looking for data to manipulate the ghost of a tortured soul.
Alice and Brandon were definitely together during the scan.
Good to know. Maybe we can use that somehow.
Brandon, you ready to go? Stromae says it's time to move.
I'm waiting for Stratsky and Alvaro to pack up their stuff. Head downstairs and I'll meet you there.
Don't take too long.
Don't worry, we're right behind you.
I think I just heard Alice talking to Brandon on the intercom. Seems like they were getting ready to leave.
You got that from the intercom? Must be a transmission buffer. Hang on. Great, this is exactly what we need. I think we got this, Simon. I can synthesize Alice's voice from the intercom and use it to impersonate her for the simulation. We can trick them into feeling safe enough to open up.
Great. Definitely feeling good about this.
Good job with the intercom. I didn't know you could data mine. What's it like?
It's just something that I do now.
So it comes naturally to you. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I'll make sure to add it to my dating profile.
Should we feel bad about tricking Brandon? After all, he's just a program. Should we feel something for someone that's just code?
I compiled an Alice module that we can use.
So she'll be with Brandon in the simulation?
Sort of. I'll still need to do the talking, but it'll sound and look like Alice.
That wasn't so bad. Stromae really got me worked up, bastard.
Well, that's what you get for listening to his stories.
I guess I had it coming.
About Stromae. He's sending you to the new cipher ASAP. What should I tell him?
It's alright. I can talk to him.
Wait, didn't Chun just tell you to take it easy? Don't worry, I'm not going to tell anyone.
I do feel hungover. Okay. It's 1729 over 42, 12 over 407. Got it?
Yeah, I got it. I'm sorry, Mr. Long. Brandon. Goodbye.
No, wait.
That's enough. We got what we need.
Is that what we are? Simulations?
Yeah, but it shouldn't make any difference. You're still you. I'm not sure what to do with the data. You decide.
This part of the game hit me harder than I ever could put into words. That's the only logical option, right? There's something about tricking someone, getting the information out of them while they're suffering and turning them off that feels so wrong. This game makes me rethink the idea of immortality forever. I hate the idea of it now.
Simon, we got it. We can get to the Dunbat now. Get back here.
So, carrying on as if we didn't just manipulate and kill a dead man, we head back to Catherine and the Dunbat.
You're not worried that there are other Simons or Catherines running around out there?
Now I am. Geez, Simon, some thoughts are better left alone. There you are, just warming up the Dunbat for us. It's been collecting dust for months, so it might need a minute. Okay, that's it. That's everything. Let's go ahead and... Huh. That's weird. Huh. Never mind.
What do you need me to do?
Head inside the dock. The Omnitool can open the door now. And get into the Dunbat. Then plug me in, and I'll take us into the Abyss.
Sounds easy enough.
We take Catherine to the Dunbat, ready to head down into the friendly place of the Abyss. There it is, suspended in mid-air above a moon pool, to jump into and head down to the Abyss with. So Simon readies up the Dunbat, closing the door behind them, and all the systems whir to life with each dial twist, seemingly getting to the point where we can get inside of it. The WoW, in its pursuit of making everything live forever, had turned the Dunbat into a mockingbird, putting someone's consciousness inside of it. We end up falling into an old lab with the first initial prototype of the Ark, and plug Catherine in.
Huh? Wait, this isn't... Oh no! WoW got to the Dunbat before we did, am I right?
Well, it was talking. That's rarely a good sign.
Damn it. The Dunbat was our best shot. I was really banking on this to work.
Come on, we can't quit now. There's gotta be another way. How do you think you did it? How did the team get the Ark down the Abyss in the first place?
If they didn't use the Dunbat, the only other way would be the climber at Omicron. It's like an elevator which supposedly reaches all the way down into the Abyss.
Okay, so we do that. We go to Omicron and take the elevator.
Yeah, okay. Sure. We'll just head over to Omicron and hope there's a power suit that fits you. You know, so you don't implode while in the Abyss.
That does sound useful.
Alright, let's go then. Wait, what is this place? Seems to be a lot of information on the Ark here. There's a prototype and everything.
Okay.
Let's start it up. I want to see how it works. Maybe we can figure out how to get on the Ark.
You didn't know how to get us on?
How difficult could it be?
So we plug in the prototype and get the alpha version of the Ark running.
Try loading a dummy scan. It shouldn't be that difficult. I just want to make sure I understand how the scan data is formulated before we start messing around with the real Ark. Run the simulation and then hit pause while the code is running. It'll give me a cross-section of the process. Better not use real data. I don't want to repeat what we did to Brandon.
Second that.
Yes, of course. So precise, so perfect.
Nothing like admiring your own work.
What? Oh, right.
So now we know how to get on the Ark, right?
Kind of.
What?
It's just I don't really know what you are. Maybe there's a way to plug you in, or maybe scan somehow. We need to figure this out before we leave. Wow, that's so cool. It's the whole gang.
A crew photo? Really? Who were you saving this for? The world was dead.
Thanks, Simon. I thought being an asshole wasn't invented until the 22nd century. Now I know better.
It's a very human thing to take photos of yourself. It commemorates your memories, makes them feel like they mean something.
The Ark doesn't even look that bulky. This is gonna be easy.
You haven't heard of the concept of jinxing, have you?
Sorry, I forgot your people were superstitious.
It's weird that Catherine wasn't born for nearly 100 years after Simon died.
What's this thing?
That's just a compound examiner. Coster uses it to investigate structural integrity in payload frameworks.
Of course.
Could you fit inside it? If I knew what you were made of, it would be a hell of a lot easier to figure out how to get you on the Ark.
Well, I'll give it a try.
The radiation that this thing emits now doesn't matter that Simon is made out of metal.
Bit of a tight fit.
Can you reach the on switch?
Should I be worried about radiation?
I think we're beyond that. Interesting. You seem to be one with the diving suit you're wearing. Everything's meshed together.
How's that gonna work with the suit we're picking up at Omicron?
I think they're bigger. You should be able to wear them both.
Imogen? Who's that?
It looks like the basis for your body is one of my old colleagues. A standard Cortex chip for robots, including the data reader and the OcuTorch, has just been forced through the skull.
What?
Structure gel has fused the whole construction together. Amazing stuff.
No, hold on, back up. I'm one of your old colleagues?
Well, your body is. Imogen Reed.
That's disgusting.
Hey, don't say that. She was nice to me. Anyway, the Cortex chip is good news. That means we can transfer your mind to the Ark with a pilot seat.
Kath, I'm half a dead person.
Yes, it makes sense. Think about it. All those simplistic minds we've run into, just reviving a dead person doesn't seem to work that well. A robot body seems to make people a bit unreliable. You are the best of both worlds. A sound mind and a sound body.
Are we done here? Can we go to Omicron and get my new suit man?
Yeah, we should get going.
So that's the reason that Simon hasn't gone mad. He's got a human body to make his consciousness not go insane, and a robot mind to regulate himself and actually be simulated.
Want to bring this Ark as a backup?
Now that wouldn't work. This is just a prototype.
Good. I prefer to travel light.
Let's go. Don't forget to take me with you.
So he enters the main lab of Theta, with the lift right in front of him. Though something seems quite upset with that choice.
It's missing a chip or something.
The connector chip was taken by Brandon to stop Terry getting downstairs.
Strohmeyer! Brandon, where are you? It got out of hand. I'm in Sector RD4. Did you get everyone downstairs?
Yeah, we're safe for now. But you need to get moving. They're gonna figure out where we are and come for us.
Don't worry about it. The stairs are blocked, and I killed the elevator. Pull the connector chip from the lock.
Fine. That means you're stuck as well.
Only way to keep you guys safe. Take the shuttle, go to Omicron.
God damn it, Juan. You just had to be the hero, you bastard.
Good luck, sir. Tell Alice I love her.
So now Simon needed to find a new connector chip, so he could take the elevator down to the shuttle. Though Terry had been abducting all the people, giving them to the WoW as some sort of offering as their bodies got mutated. Terry Akers, like the other proxies, is completely blind, but his sense of hearing is extremely sharp. How his AI in the game works is quite fascinating. He'll get close to the player, then back off into what is known as a hiding state. He will then be in the hiding state, making noises in the background, but cannot attack the player during this time. He will come out of this hiding state if the player makes a noise that is too loud, or if too much time has elapsed. This way, the player doesn't constantly feel like they're being harassed.
Sarah, how the hell are we going to make sure the Ark makes it?
Every launch is a crapshoot, you know that.
I just wish these numbers looked better.
What do you care? It's just a pack of data, right?
Yeah, just a pack of data.
Just a pack of data with all the remnants of humanity still inside of it. There are several interesting posters dotted around the room, showing how the boosters of the Omega space gun works. And inside of a conference room, there's several horrific pictures of the WoW interacting with the physical biology and how it's altered it. Though Simon finally makes it to Strohmeyer's office.
Strohmeyer, you there? I hear you, Brandon. What do you got?
Akers and his critters are ferocious. They pick up on every move. There's no way past them.
Then we'll fight them. We got to get to the shuttle.
And end up like Shank and Adams? No way. Listen, I'll create a distraction and pull them to me. Get the gang to the shuttle station.
Wait, Brandon, what are you doing?
Don't worry, Alice. I'll look back as soon as you guys are safe. Just load up the shuttle and be ready to go.
Are you sure about this?
I don't plan to die today, sir. See you at the shuttle.
And And there's several doors that Simon can unlock, giving us access to the card for the lift. And there's several horrific monstrosities from testing the structure gel on biological matter. As well as a medical treatment theatre where Akers was first taken on his arrival to Theta many months ago, with diagrams showing how his brain and bones had started mutating and growing from the WOW's influence over his body.
Terry Akers, Chief Factor at Delta, first assessment. Brought in today, January 16, 2104. Reportedly found in his diving suit, unconscious, in the water. Akers has clearly been consuming large amounts of structure gel, for weeks probably. It's difficult to tell how this has affected his health beyond the obvious non-movement, and if it somehow caused him to gouge out his eyes. Small amounts of gel have always been considered perfectly safe to handle, but I can't recall ever hearing about any recommendations on how to treat overexposure. Considering its properties, I doubt it's poisonous, but the more transformative aspects of the thoroughfare makes me think that malign cell mutations are to be expected. I think I will need to consult Dr. Eames at Omicron about this.
So Akers was left comatose after injecting large amounts of structure gel into his body. And we get greeted by the friendly face of Brandon, who we just tortured on the computer.
I'm sorry about before, Brandon. I'm sorry we couldn't let you rest in peace.
Though, as Simon is heading to reformat the chip, the building conveniently runs out of power. Though now, with the chip updated with the security codes, he can open the door. So Simon takes it, being careful to avoid Akers on his way back to the lift. Simon tries to get the chip in as quickly as possible to get the doors activated. But of course, Akers realizes. So with the lift broken, he climbs down an escape hatch to, well, escape. But it's never that easy, is it? Simon wakes up, busted and injured at the bottom of the lift as he pulls himself out. The WOW has completely taken over the shuttle station with its disgusting biological gel growths everywhere. Akers manages to break through the stairwell. As Simon is sent into some sort of lucid dream.
Don't move. It's okay.
What?
It's over now. Relax.
Ashley? What are you doing here?
Hanging out, like couples do.
We're not...
You don't want me?
Yes, of course, but... What happened?
We fell in love.
If only it was that simple. But Simon wakes up to find himself molded into the fleshy wall of the WoW, being slowly consumed into its mind. Though we're not nearly as lucky as some of the other people Akers got his hands on. You can hear the voices of what's going through their head. A blissful reality like Simon was trapped in. The WoW keeping their minds occupied and happy as their bodies rot and mould as they're twisted beyond recognition. Who are we to say that this isn't a good thing? Sure, it looks horrific from the outside, but maybe this is salvation at the end of the world. Maybe when humans are extinct, this is what they have to do to survive. This next section of the game, until Simon can reach the next pressure lock to get outside of Theta, is one of the weakest of the whole game in my opinion. It is quite creepy with all of the poor butchered workers as you shuffle by and hear them murmuring thoughts of their own projected horrors, but it's mainly drenched in darkness as Simon is injured while 3 to 4 proxies run around, causing you to constantly have to hide in corners. It loses a lot of its scare factor when you die over and over again in a frustrating loop and have to trudge back through the darkness, being careful not to make no sound. Dying in horror games removes a lot of the terror as you get pulled out of the immersion as the game overscreen appears. There's also no story in this section, unless you're willing to sit and try to decipher whatever these poor mangled humans are saying. Personally, I'm not. Though eventually, there's a door that Simon can't open as it needs more power. So he starts up the power generator and gives the door the power it requires and can then escape this proxy-ridden, rotting basement. Which brings him to the water management part of Theta. All this section is a bunch of parkouring, climbing over rickety objects to get to the other side. He finds a big handle labelled emergency flush, and obviously pulls it. Simon is flung out of an exhaust pipe of Theta, straight onto a corpse that seemingly suffered the same fate.
What happened? What did she do?
Come on, we gotta get her out of there! Holy shit, Hart blew up the O2 surplus. She sealed the tunnel.
She really didn't want Akers following us to Omicron.
Ah, shit, she's fucking hurt. Her suit is leaking.
We have to get her to Omicron.
Shit, it's bad, real bad.
Oh, fuck, no!
Simon then continues to Omicron.
Alright, let's find Omicron.
Omicron is Pathos 2's Centre for Medical Research and Hydroculture. Omicron is constructed on the edge of the abyss and is, with the climber, able to study over 4 kilometers of depth.
This is Omicron? Hope they saved me a diving suit.
But all the windows and doors have hazard symbols over them, and a lockdown is currently in place. What happened here?
Hey, come on! Open up!
Omicron is in quarantine. This is why they didn't answer our call. Hello! Christ, Strasky, it's called a radio. They're not gonna hear you better if you scream.
Jonesy, you okay? Look, I know you're the strong silent type, but I need you to say something every now and then so I know you're all right. Jonesy? Jones.
Fuck's sakes. Let's try the annex again. Maybe we can break in.
We're losing Jonesy. We need to get her inside.
Oh, get in line! Alvaro, there's nothing we can do for her right now. Hit the stasis switch and let's check the annex.
Sadly, they can't breathe underwater, so most of these people died from CO2 slowly building up in their suits. But Omicron currently doesn't have power, so Simon needs to restore that, so he heads to an outpost to do exactly that.
It won't fucking open! And nobody's answering to anything! What kind of cold-hearted motherfuckers would just leave us out here to die?
Don't you get it? They're dead. They're all dead.
Yeah, you're right.
How can you be so calm about this shit? We are dying!
How much air have you guys got?
20 minutes, tops.
Hey, I'm in red. Seconds away before the CO2 gets me.
Stresky.
Why wait, right? I'm the master of my own fate.
Wait, Stress, what are you doing?
Simon then enters into the control center by manually flushing all of the water. But once inside, the sights are no better. So he plugs Catherine in to get a better idea.
Catherine?
What?
There you are.
Where are we?
We're right next to Omicron, a smaller building connected to the main site. Can't you tell?
No, my view is pretty limited. There's some heavy restrictions on my system access. Did you find a power suit?
Not yet. Trying to figure out how to get into Omicron, the big building.
Oh, okay. Keep up the good work.
That's it? You got nothing?
Good luck.
Kath, how are you so okay with all this?
With what?
Being a talking box, for one thing. Not being human.
It's not so bad.
So, you're not bothered at all by not having a body?
I'm getting there. You're making me feel really self-conscious.
Come on, be serious.
I never felt that comfortable being human in the first place. This isn't much worse.
Not being able to move would freak me out. Glad you got the box and not me.
Would make it a little easier to help out if I had a body, but you're doing a good job.
Just figured being able to stretch a little would give you some ease.
My physical constraints don't translate to my experience very well. I feel about as human as before, but as if suspended in air. Which is kind of interesting now that I think about it.
Kath, why do you think I was made? Why would this AI, the WoW, bring me here?
I don't think we could ever know. I have my own beliefs, but nothing that can be verified.
Tell me, why do you think the WoW brought me here?
The WoW had a range of assignments, but they all sprung from one single idea. Preserve humanity. When the comet hit the Earth, killing everything, leaving a fraction of humanity left alive, the WoW started to compensate.
It's restoring humanity.
I think so, but I don't think we share its definition of human. Or life, for that matter.
Catherine, are we alive?
That's an impossible question to answer. We lack meaningful definitions.
I just figured there must be a way to know. To know if this life is worth living.
You assume you've changed so much, but have you really?
I don't know. I don't feel so different. The world sure does. I never realized how much the idea of myself depended on where I am.
How do you mean?
I miss Toronto. Not because my friends and family are there, but because I know where I fit in. In Toronto, I know who I am.
That's an interesting observation.
Any idea who this is?
Not really. Not that familiar with the people at Omicron.
Strange that her head looks like it exploded. Though there's a little puzzle on the wall that Simon can pull off to reroute the power through the working lines to bring back power to Omicron and hopefully get inside.
The terminal just lit up.
And it successfully works, restoring power back to all the systems. All of the staff's black boxes are offline. Interesting.
Uber, do we have any painkillers left? This tinnitus is becoming crippling.
Sorry, we only have heavy stuff left. Morphine level drugs.
I'll take it. Feels like my head is about to explode.
Can do. That's stuff for emergencies. Besides, Cameron thinks the ringing will settle when JR reaches 100%.
Then tell him to hurry the fuck up.
Should be a matter of hours. Just hang in there.
Keep me posted.
Yeah, well, I have this thing I need to take care of, so I'll talk to you later, okay?
Sure thing, Herb.
It must have overloaded his black box.
Humans have black boxes?
Here we do. Company policy. It records your vitals to help medical personnel treat you in case of accidents.
That's how I can hear the dead.
Right. Yeah, you should be able to data mine black boxes, just like the intercom in Theta.
Omicron is still under quarantine, so how will he get inside?
There has to be a way to cancel the lockdown. Have a look around the room.
So Simon looks around the room for a code.
Did you do that, Catherine?
What?
Never mind. I think I solved it.
Solved what?
Why do I get the feeling that we just got lowered into the back of a van?
What are you talking about?
Someone or something wants Simon to enter Omicron. This doesn't feel right. But he enters the quarantine code anyways.
Omicron retracted the quarantine shutters. Lockdown canceled.
Something wants us to come inside.
And we want to go inside. What's the problem? Come on, let's get going.
As Omicron is primarily a research lab, it makes sense they'd have full quarantine shutters. If something went wrong inside, they wouldn't want it getting out. Though on his way over, Simon finds another.
The world is dead, Richard. Even if we got inside Omicron, what's left? Grab a couple suits and head for Tau? Strasky, Jonesy, Hart. Everyone is dead, and we are right behind them. We're probably the last people left alive. The last moments of mankind. No oxygen left. Better sit down. Don't want to fall into the abyss.
There are worse ways to die. Probably. Why do they call you M?
Huh? Oh, it's for Emma.
Emma Alvaro. I like that. It's a good name. We should have hung out more. I think we would have made good friends.
Thanks. I would have liked that.
Goodbye, Emma.
Bye.
That death hit me the hardest. Nothing overly grim. It's the one that made me shed a tear. Just a normal person facing their mortality, saying goodbye, and drifting off to sleep, to die. It's kind of beautiful. It's a peaceful way to go. Is there really any good way to go? If given the option, do you think these people would have preferred to be preserved in a suit like Simon, capable of living on forever, endlessly? Or do you think they'd rather lay down peacefully and drift away? Can living forever be a good thing in some situations? Though as Simon tries to enter Omicron, the pressure chamber breaks and he's told to use an alternative entrance. So he scales over the side entrance that is less than an entrance now and more of a death trap with the 4 kilometers of abyss lurking below him.
This had better be the right way.
And after successfully scaling the rickety frames, he opens the side entrance.
Let's find that suit and get out.
And of course, the place is littered with corpses. This time, they're all headless instead. black boxes seem to be completely destroyed. The lockdown internally of Omicron is still active, though there's glitches telling Simon to stop the wow. The creature is called Ross, and he keeps telling Simon to stop it. When a cancer is buried so deep into something, it becomes nearly impossible to remove when it's sunk its claws into the system. But the door slams mysteriously shut behind Simon. Strange.
Is this Omicron? Everything is so basic, so limited. I hope it's not the Omnitool falling apart. Okay, we need to find you a power suit. You know, so we can go into the abyss without ending up like a recycled can of soda.
You think we'll find one that fits me? I mean, I'm kind of in a suit already.
That's been bothering me too. You know how you were transferred from Vancouver?
Toronto.
From then to now.
How could I forget?
Okay, so we do it again.
You want to send me to the future?
No, you idiot. I want to transfer your mind into a new body.
What?
Look, we already know it can be done. We don't need to make it a big deal.
It is a big deal, Kath. It's a huge fucking deal. There's got to be something else that can take us down there.
But Dunbat at Theta was the only vessel that could take that pressure, and you saw what happened.
Then think of something else.
Simon, please. You don't have to switch this instant. Just play along for now. If we find something else, then great. If not...
I'm not promising anything.
Thank you, Simon. Have a look around the room. This is where they would keep the power suits, if there are any left.
When you copy a piece of data on a computer and move it to a new location, what happens to the old data? Simon finds one of the dive suits still intact and unused.
Oh, God. Nice. I found one of the power suits. There's a dead woman inside. At least I think it's a woman. Just like the body we found in the annex. She's missing her head.
Gross. This could work in our favor, though. Look for a terminal nearby, see if you can boot it up.
The suit tracker says there's 3 suits active. One here, one at the bottom of the abyss, and one at Tau.
Not exactly grade A material.
Don't write it off just yet. Remember what we found out at Theta? The suit you are wearing is basically just a Cortex chip working a few pints of structure gel, powered by the on-suit battery pack.
And a dead colleague, Imogen Reed.
Exactly. If you think about it, we're actually incredibly lucky. We found a suit with an already dead body inside.
I guess you're right. What about the WoW? What makes you think it'll play along?
It's not magic, it's algorithms. A set pattern. The WoW won't be able to deny us, even if it was capable of wanting to.
I'm still not crazy about this plan. It feels wrong.
Please, Simon, I can't give up on the Ark. I need this to work.
So we need a Cortex chip, structure gel, and a battery pack. That's one hell of a shopping list.
Thanks. I'll just hang around here if that's okay.
I'll be back.
So Simon heads off to find all 3, and finds a picture of the Ark team as they were going down into the abyss. Though, as the lockdown has now been removed, Simon can run a diagnostics on the whole of Omicron. And he's given a rerouting puzzle that he easily completes. Though in the clean room that's looking exceptionally clean, Simon finds someone taking a shower the wrong way, as well as images showing structure gel, which shows its development when connected under the influence of the WoW. The gel is encodable and can be calibrated with instructions to accomplish a specific function. The gel can only function for a limited duration if no external sources of electricity provides it power, The substance is very useful in technology, able to connect to different forms of machinery, and even increase the functionality of basic machines immensely. The gel can reboot any offline machine and repair any structural or electrical damage. It is also capable of mutating living tissue in organisms, though this normally requires an AI. This document says that the issue isn't the structure gel, but however is the WoW that controls it, as it can modify and change the gel's code to do whatever it wants, as well as the study results stating that all of the mutated creatures and machinery around Pathos 2 is a direct influence by the structure gel and the WoW. It says that it only happened after the comet hit. They don't know if it's down to bad code or just the circumstances that made the WoW act in unpredicted ways. But the chip malfunctions, requiring our attention, so Simon takes this chip and starts to update it with structure gel.
It came back to life. Or something like it.
If it talks like a parrot, looks like a parrot, then it's a parrot, right? And injecting the structure gel causes it to work perfectly, and Simon then gets the gel he needed. Clearly, this man needs to go and take some anger management classes, and Simon finds another voice memo.
It's not something you really want to get comfortable with. That's funny. That's really funny, Julia. What's going on? Am I not transparent? What do you want, Rolly? We're friends, right? Yes. Do you think Alpha is real? What makes you... Why would you ask that? I think Ross is trying to tell me something. About Side Alpha? He wants me to go down to the abyss and find it. Crazy, right? You've been down there. I just thought you could talk some sense into me. Ronnie, I'm not at liberty to... I can't talk about that.
Site Alpha is a mysterious place that many of the crew think exists, but no one has ever confirmed it. Site Alpha is also where the WoW is meant to be, its heart, where it was made by Carthage Industries. Another note also states how when Ross's corpse was dragged up to Omicron, that the WoW was trying to get to it and resurrect him with structure gel. He was the sole worker at the covert Site Alpha as the overseer and operator of the WoW. He didn't create the WoW, but he was in charge of it during his time with Pathos 2.
Hey, Andrea?
Yeah?
I was talking to Cameron about protein solubilization. Do you think we could break the aggregate in structure gel without flattening the configuration?
Jesus. That was a mouthful. You've been listening to Cameron, that's for sure. What do you want, Raleigh?
Can you blame me for trying to figure this out? I've been having the dreams too, you know. I don't know what to believe.
Oh, I know. Everything from the sudden signal amplification in black boxes to having a comatose Dr. Ross locked up in the glass jar. We've all been going a bit nuts.
Tell me about it. Feels like my head's about to explode. Hypothetically speaking, could we stop the WoW from mutating?
It doesn't work like that.
Even if there was a Site Alpha?
Hypothetically speaking, I guess we could try. Rally, are you recording this?
Sorry. I just... Sorry.
Herbert was wanting to find a way to Alpha, to find a way to stop the WoW. So now all Simon needed to find was a Cortex chip and a battery pack. Should be easy. And he comes across a conveniently placed robot that he could take the Cortex chip from. So he can tick that off his shopping list now. Their internal organs have been completely replaced by robotics. The WoW's ways of keeping people alive seemingly get more and more sophisticated over time, and more horrific as it keeps people in a limbo between life and death.
Strasky, are you there?
I hear you, Herbie. What's up?
Just wanted to check in. I have to go do something. I might not be around for a few days, okay?
Rally Herbert leaving the listening post? Must be important.
It is, Strask. It is.
Okay then. Stay safe.
She was going to kill the WoW.
Omicron, can you hear us? Loud and clear. Everyone all right?
We will be as soon as we make friends with the power suits.
I'm sure you'll get used to it.
Look at that. Just wanted to check in before we pass the last working Lumar probe. Guys, any last words to Omicron?
Don't forget to pick us up.
You heard that, right?
Don't worry, we won't forget.
All right. Heading into radio silence.
Good luck, guys. Tau, please respond. This is Rowley Herber calling from Omicron. Please respond, Tau.
Unable to connect. Lumar relay out of range.
Yeah, I get it.
Given that the station only had dispatch rooms to communicate, the whole people could have been dead down below and they wouldn't have known. All Simon needed now was a battery pack. There's a horrific scene of many of them trying to escape as they clamber towards the exit. None of them made it out. And from what? In the dining hall, there's someone who is mid-meal with their head completely blown off and with several audio logs open on his computer.
Johan Ross was found dead on the climber this morning. The ARC team went down a couple of days ago, but I see no reason to suspect them playing a part in his death. The climber can't be operated from the abyss, so there was a scheduled retrieval. The climber returned with only the lifeless body of Alpha member Johan Ross. No traces of the ARC team. Cameron, Eames, Lansky, all studying the body inside containment. I'll follow up with whatever they find. Delenda Est. The WOW has been getting more aggressive, pushing all systems to their limits. Ironically, the dead Dr. Johan Ross would be the perfect person to ask why the WOW is making such a big buzz about his passing. After all, the WOW isn't supposed to want anything, and definitely not to mourn people. The system overload affects the staff considerably. Headaches, loss of sleep, unwarranted stress. And it seems to be getting worse. I could use some advice if you can get through. Delenda Est. Things are out of hand. The staff looks like they're about to explode. Every other person walks around with nosebleeds, and the rest keep wiping stains of blood from their eyes to keep them from overflowing. That's to do with the WOW trying to free Ross somehow, for sure. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the body just got up and left. Rally Herber, our dispatcher, has been snooping around asking questions she shouldn't. She says she's going down into the abyss to find Alpha. I can't bring myself to stop her.
That electrical buzz that you heard was the WOW, causing a massive spike in electromagnetism, which then caused all of the staff's black boxes within their heads to explode, destroying their brains and killing everyone in Omicron. As the WOW is everywhere through Pathos 2, it heard her saying that Herber was going down to Alpha to destroy it. It then defended itself by killing every person on Omicron. This seems stupid for an AI with the primary function to preserve human life at all costs. But when it considers itself more vital for keeping human life sustained through its horrific creatures on disgusting life support, it chose to kill a few, would inevitably keep the most people alive and preserve human life. Though Simon has to pass by another one of the WOW's creatures to get a battery pack. Her body has been replaced by harsh machines. What sort of immortality is this? Kept alive under the ocean forevermore, not as a human, but alive by the definition of a malfunctioning cancer. Though Simon collects the battery pack, and with his shopping list now complete, can go back to Catherine. But the robot head lady has followed Simon, trying to stop him from progressing.
managed to piss off another one of WoW's monsters.
We have everything we need, right?
Yeah. Let's get to work.
We need to assemble your new body with the things you collected. Just stuff all of it into the suit with the dead body. Stuff the chip, the battery pack, and the gel into the power suit.
I love how precise Catherine is with stuffing all these complex machinery inside the head of a dead corpse.
This is crazy.
Don't worry, it'll work.
So Simon stuffs it all in.
Make sure it's all bunched together with the structure gel connecting all the parts. Alright, try activating the suit from the terminal again.
I can't believe we're doing this.
It will be fine.
Then why don't we put you in the suit?
I was gonna suggest that if you refused.
You'd go without me.
I need to do this, Simon. This is important. I need to launch the Ark.
You'd really do it? Change body?
Yes, if you want to stay here, I'm not gonna stand in your way. I don't want to tell you what to do.
What would it be like before? Close my eyes and then...
And then open them again.
Alright, let's do it.
Thank you, Simon. Go sit in the pilot seat in the next room. You might need to boot it up.
It's this copy and moving problem again. What happens when you move a file on a computer? Moving a file on a computer just moves it from left to right. Right.
We need to loop back the activity manifested by your current Cortex chip, run it through the amplifier, feed it into the new chip, and then make sure it's synced.
You lost me halfway there.
You don't really need to understand it, just make them line up. That's everything. You can climb into the pilot seat now.
Already?
I have everything under control, so please, have a seat.
You know what's going to happen.
Go sit in the pilot seat.
You know how copying works, right?
Sorry about any discomfort. This should be over soon.
It's like having your picture taken.
But with the most expensive camera in the world.
You know, Indian stock photos would steal their souls.
In this case, they'd be right.
Copy and paste. Cut and paste. Copy, move, and then delete the original.
There must be something wrong. Can't you run a diagnosis or something?
What was that?
No, it's just...
Why was it still talking?
It's the same like before.
Catherine, why was he still talking?
That's how it works, you know that.
What do you mean?
You know it's not magic. You were copied. The sleeping Simon in the seat was copied, and now you are here, just like Simon lived on in Toronto.
God damn you, Kath. 2 Simons? There can't be 2 Simons.
What did you think would happen?
That you were gonna take my mind and put it into another body, like a brain transplant.
I'm sorry, it wouldn't work that way.
You realize how messed up this is?
Please, I didn't mean to upset you.
How did you expect me to react to this shit?
Please stop.
You're fucking disgusting. What's gonna happen to him?
He'll sleep for a while, a few days.
And then what? Wake up in this fucking nightmare again? All alone? So cruel.
Well, what do you want me to do with him? Make friends? Let him know that we have to leave him behind when we go into the abyss?
What if he didn't need to wake up?
You'd do that?
I don't know. Maybe.
There. I set it up for you. Hit the switch if you want to drain his battery. He'll die within a minute. I'd rather not stay plugged in any longer.
Would you do it? Copy, paste, and delete. There is no other game like SOMA. No other game that makes me feel this way. I came out of this room, out of Omicron, contemplating my own existence for a long time. This game changed me. So, as Simon walks out to the edge of the abyss, the only thing on my mind is, did we do the right thing? Should we have left Simon to live on? Or did we do the right thing in killing him?
Are we done here?
Yeah,
Activate the climber, please.
sure thing.
At least Catherine sounds extremely happy.
The scene will be off.
So Simon takes a seat in the climber and now descends into the abyss.
Have we figured out what happens when we die yet? Is that even possible? If there's some kind of afterlife, do you think my place is taken? The real me died like 100 years ago. Is there still room for me? And what about the Simon I killed at Omicron? What do you think, Catherine? Is there a heaven full of redundant copies of the same people? Is there someone up there who called me an imposter? It's dumb luck, right? I woke up in the right body. I basically flipped a coin, and if I had called the wrong side, I'd be rotting away at Omicron. I mean, there's nowhere to know, right? You didn't hit the make sure Simon wakes up in the right body switch, did you? Not that you would know. I mean, he would still claim to be the right Simon. Christ. This is awful. We did an awful fucking thing. And you wouldn't mind. Why would you? How could you know that it's not me, the me that I am, the same that I've always been? Please say something. I don't want to think. Please.
I don't know what to say. I don't want to upset you.
Say anything.
When I was little, I used to climb the stairs all the way to the top of the building. And I can still feel how I had to, tuck my arm so I could push the heavy steel door open. Well, the first time that I dared go up there, I stepped out onto the roof and watched the smog rise and fall over Taipei. I got all the way up to the corner ledge and, I felt the warm wind in my hair and the sun was setting and the streets below were shadowed by the tall buildings. The people pushing through the crowd flowed like paint from an artist's brush. Street food vendors filled the air with aromas of all my favorite foods. For a brief moment, I felt connected to the world in a way that I never had before. It was the most profound feeling of comfort and sense of belonging I could ever hope for. I really never felt the same way again, but I went up to the roof many times after. I'm not religious, but I can see why people would be. The privilege of being makes a strong case, at least every once in a while.
Do you still feel that sense of awe? Even like this?
Things are different, but we're still here.
What's the point of going on? Everyone's gone. All the people still left are digital copies trapped in computers at the bottom of the sea. We'll never be able to rebuild or reclaim what we were.
Are you really so unhappy being what you are, or is this about the man who went for a scan 100 years ago?
Both, I guess. When I was back in Toronto, even the worst case, the darkest futures I could predict, they at least included my previous life somehow. I feel so uprooted. There's nothing here that I recognize, nothing that makes me feel like I belong. Even if we make it to the Ark, would it be any different? I'd still be alone. No friends. No family.
You could make new friends. I'm sure everyone would like to know the time traveler. If not, you still have...
But the climber suddenly stops.
Catherine? Kath? Hello, Catherine. What happened?
One of the breakers got dislodged, so Simon puts it back in.
Hey, I know it's not much, but why have we stopped moving?
The power blacked out for a moment. Think it could be the atmospheric pressure. It's pushing pretty hard, really testing the limits of my suit.
Don't worry, it should hold.
Comforting.
It will hold.
Does time freeze when you're not powered?
Time feels omitted when we're moving.
What's the difference?
I don't feel like I'm being held back or hindered. And I don't have the opportunity to reflect on the time I'm missing. It's simply missing.
Sounds like sleeping without the dreaming.
Yes, but generally you anticipate when you're about to sleep, and there's a natural continuation since we tend to wake up where we went to sleep. My experience is more like an ever-changing moment that never really seems to find closure.
Sounds kind of like a movie being edited live.
I suppose so. I guess it sounds exciting, but it really keeps me activated to the point of exhaustion.
It's rough.
Could be worse. Could be a time traveler stuck in a body made from black goo.
That'd be the worst.
Seems like Simon's life isn't too bad after all. But something latches itself onto the climber.
You did it! You did it! I will make preparations.
Oh, good, you're back.
What happened?
Something dropped onto the cage. Knocks you right out.
It spoke to me.
Looked like a man, one of WoW's creatures. It just stared at you for a moment, then threw itself down the abyss.
It said it would make preparations. I don't like the sound of that.
It was very strange. I thought it was going to kill you for sure. Glad it didn't.
Yeah, me too.
That was Ross, mutated and changed by the WoW, but somehow still of sound mind.
Looks like we're closing in on the ocean floor.
Good, not sure the climber could take it much longer. Okay, so this is the Omega Sector. It's about an acre of the abyssal plan used by Pathos 2. I expect we'll have to do some walking before we reach town.
You haven't been here before?
Not in a way that'll help us.
Right, the other you has been here. We're following your little footsteps, Kat.
When I had footsteps.
You could still be down here somewhere, technically.
Don't remind me, freaks me out. Alright, let's head for Tau and find that ark.
So Simon picks up Catherine and heads towards Tau. This cancer really has spread through the whole of Pathos too, hasn't it?
Tau? Come in, Tau. Please answer, Tau. Nothing. It's dead.
Let's move out. We'll try the next one.
Most of the signal connections down here have been completely severed, but after wandering around for some more, Simon finds another corpse.
Jesus, did you see that? Stick to the lamplights. They won't go near them.
I can't, Valglasser. It's important I reach Omicron. Our future depends on it.
Calm down. Let's just follow the path.
If I die, I need you to tell Julia Dahl that the WoW is out of control. She needs to get to Sarang. He'll know what to do.
Ross, you can tell them yourself. We just need to pick up the pace, okay?
Glass! We lost the path! We need to go back!
I know where to go. Come on.
It's over there! The light is over there!
Final push, Ross. Almost there. We just...
That was Ross, the creature that had been following us. And after switching on some lights, Simon can see a faint blue light in the distance heading to Tau. So he follows the light, careful not to get tracked off course. That's another one of the WoW's disgusting creatures lurking in the depths. To think anyone can survive this deep in the ocean is deeply unsettling.
Tau, can you hear this? Anyone there?
This is Tau. Who is this? This is Ian Peterson of Theta calling. I got a team with me, and we're about half a kilometer from Tau.
What? How did... You came in the climber?
Listen, we're having a really hard time with this sector. Heavy turbulence is making it difficult to move forward, and the wildlife you got is absolutely rabid.
The storm comes and goes. Instruments show the weather is relatively fair right now. You should move out as soon as possible. Stick to the lights. The critters should leave you alone.
All right, you heard the man. We're moving out, people. Tau, keep the doors unlocked. We're coming in.
So Simon does the same, this time with the help of a robot to guide the way to Tau instead. But obviously, a creature has to take our only life source. Poor robot. Though now Simon has to go through a cave full of thousands of underwater spiders. They look really friendly. But after wandering around for what feels like hours, he makes it to Tau. This is the second to last station in Pathos 2. It's insane to think that humans live down here, happily. The seal on these doors are huge to account for the 400 atmospheres of pressure.
Never been happier to be inside. Let's find the Ark.
But obviously, everything seems dead here also.
Welcome to Tau. What's left of it.
Are you guys alright? What happened here?
We ran out of real food long ago. People have been getting sick. Haven't heard from anyone in months.
No shit, they all think you're dead down here. Some failed evac story circulating at Omicron.
Oh, God.
Listen, son. We're on an important mission, and we need your help to operate the Omega space gun. When it's done, we can all head back up the plateau. But now we need to get moving.
Of course. Head on through to the habitat. We shut off the front section to preserve power.
All right. See you soon.
So as the climate broke, everyone in Tau slowly starved to death under the sea. One of the suits in the rooms is leaking with structure gel. I hope it's not around here. We can see on the logs that the WoW accessed the suit, and then right after, someone called Jin Yoshida did. My guess is that didn't end well for him. But Simon finds a large vault door separating the front and back ends of Tau. On the other side is the toughest enemy of SOMA so far, Jin Yoshida himself, merged into the suit and fully mutated by the WoW. He has the fastest movement and most acute hearing of any of the enemies so far in the game. But Simon manages to make it safely up into the habitat section, the place where all the humans escaped to and locked themselves off in. And this place looks relatively cozy, all things considered. There's worse places to spend your last few days. In each of the rooms we find horrible mutated people as the WoW slowly got to them, even in their sanctuary. As the world progressed, its way of keeping the humans alive had gotten more and more twisted.
Can't we do anything for him?
No, we're out of sedatives. If we had a gun, this would be the time to pull it out.
Did not expect it to end like this. Should have jumped the climber back to Omicron.
Without the Ark?
Forget about the Ark.
No, you don't get to say that. It's the only thing left of value, you know that.
Yeah.
Promise you won't leave it behind.
Well, I'll be dead one day. Then what?
Well, better keep it safe until then. Don't want the WOW to take it, swallow it whole.
I'm sorry, Catherine.
It's okay, Ian. Just let it out. Let it all out.
Everyone was getting sick and starving. They would either be taken by the WOW or would slowly die.
What the fuck did we do?
Hey, try not to think about it.
My whole life, I've been a good man. We messed up, Sarah.
There.
I should have launched. Taken the chance.
There's time. If Ashkin says we could try again, when things calm down.
You gotta do it, you know? You got to.
He was holding a picture of Catherine. I don't even have words to say. It's heartbreaking to see humans be twisted and forced to live on in a dying world with a god that doesn't care other than making them live on forever. And upon going into Ross's room, it's surprisingly clean and untouched. Ross oversaw the WOW. Maybe it likes him.
The pattern has stopped evolving. The WOW has managed to find balance. I convinced SSE Volcheck to turn off all external control systems, making the WOW our de facto caretaker. So far, it's exceeding expectations. Since the comet crashed a few days ago, January 12th, the WOW has dropped to a low energy state. It hasn't abandoned its duties. It's keeping climate and life support going. But it's been simplifying the pattern, redefining its protocol. The WOW has started to grow physically. It's not just the core chamber. All around Pathos 2, structure gel is bursting through the pipes and bleeding through walls. I don't know what WOW could possibly stand to gain from this, but I assume it is intentional. The heart of WOW has claimed such a large part of the core chamber that there can no longer be any question to its heightened awareness. Not only does its expansion suggest an unexpected understanding of space, but also its own physical manifestation within the world. The WOW is reaching out to every machine, every life form, to manipulate, to control. It's trying to help save its creators from all this, just like the protocol demands. But really, what is good enough? Where is the line drawn for what is human and what is not? Would walking corpses do? Would a group of machines thinking they're human be acceptable? We can't trust a machine to know, to understand what it means to be. We have to terminate the WOW project. It can be done. I just need to get some help from Omicron.
So from there, Ross set out to completely destroy the WOW as it continued infecting Pathos 2. And there's some images of it, of its pure white core at Alpha before it got its hands on structure gel, as it slowly mutated and became the horrific thing we know now. But after finding no reasonable answers, Simon makes his way to the infirmary, where the Ark is meant to be. Along with the last human on planet Earth.
You're different. Go ahead. Make yourself at home. Nice suit. Used to have one just like it.
Are you human?
Sarah Lindwall. Payload technician at your service. A rare sight, am I right?
I'd say so. You're the first normal living human I've seen.
There's not many left down here. Most of them are up on the plateau.
You mean at Omicron?
Yeah.
There's no one alive at Omicron.
You've been there?
I've been all over. The power plant at Upsilon, the ruins of Lambda, the abandoned Delta, Theta.
You've been to Theta?
There's not a lot left of Pathos 2.
And, I'm the only living person you've met? You mean I'm the last living human on the planet?
I'm sorry.
Who are you again?
Simon Jarret.
Stationed out?
Nowhere. I used to work in a bookshop in Toronto. Long story.
Then what the hell are you doing here?
I'm trying to find the Ark.
Why would you? How do you know about that?
I've heard it's the last hope for mankind.
Damn right it is. Now what do you want with it?
Take it to the Gun at Phi. Launch it into space.
That was the plan, all right. I've been guarding it ever since we brought it back to Tau. Just couldn't bring myself to let go. To tell you the truth, I don't have the strength to argue. And I certainly don't have the time to wait for the next sentient thing shuffling through here. Go ahead. Take it.
Thank you. Can I get you anything? Do anything for you?
You could kill me.
Good one.
I'm glad you came by. Good to get this over with. If I knew you'd come, I would have cleaned this place up a little bit. I still can't believe I'm the last one. It's crazy.
There's photos littered around our room of Earth before it was a burning hellscape, scattered all around the room. I bet she misses it. There's also several photos of the crew before everything went to shit. Along with a very corrupt picture of Catherine. There's also several documents that have been accessed by Sarah on how to keep herself alive longer. She wanted to protect the Ark for as long as she could, but Simon eventually picks it up and takes it to the lift.
You serious about me killing you?
No, I'd love to hang around here until I dry up to the size of a raisin. Simon, this fucking sucks. I don't want to live like this.
Shouldn't we be doing something to keep you alive?
Why?
You're the last human. I just find it disrespectful to our entire history not to fight this. Sure, we have the Ark, but you're the real deal.
Thanks. That's probably the best compliment I've ever got. But the truth is that the Ark is all we have. We'll have to accept second best, you know?
This feels right.
Simon, I want to die.
Sarah.
Just think about it.
Would you press that button? I know what I'd pick.
Would you stay with me, please? It won't be long now. Please, just stay. What a crazy thing this was. Life. At least I won't have to turn 30. Hooray!
She's not even 30.
Wish I could have died at home with my friends. You ever been to Greenland? It's very beautiful. Well, at least when you get out of the city. Nanook is busy, and yes, there's like 12 million people trying to get around, but it's a great place. Or rather, it was a great place before the comet ended it all. You know what? I prefer it this way. I liked Pathos. Liked my colleagues. Ian, Nick, Jasper, even Catherine. People thought she was weird because she was quiet, but she was cool. Simon, you still there?
I'm here, Sarah.
Don't let him die, okay? Send them out there. To the stars.
And with that, the human race is now extinct. At this point in the game, I was completely lost for words. I didn't know what to say. I don't know how to think. But Simon, either way, takes the Ark, the last remnants of humanity, to the Omega space gun. And he hooks it on a very conveniently placed Ark conveyor belt line. As the airlock fills with water, and the Ark will get taken off to Phi. So Simon prepares for a manual override instead. He wakes up thankfully to a full and not broken airlock. All Simon needed to do now was follow the Ark all the way to Phi. Which should be easy enough, unless it speeds away. Or there's a load of rubble that Simon can't pass over.
What the hell is wrong with this place?
It's nothing to worry about. Just the warden flexing his muscles.
The warden? You mean WoW?
Well, down here he has many names. Warden, the Alpha.
Like in Site Alpha? I thought that was made up.
Made up. Then someone should really fire Johan Ross. Tell him there's no reason to walk these tunnels no more.
This section is gonna collapse.
You should try spending some time in the abyss, sweetheart. You know when shit's for real.
Catherine, move up. Come with me. Oh, okay.
Hey, wait for me!
Careful with the Ark.
Take it easy, it's not going to... Oh, for a moment I thought it was going to collapse.
Looks like the tunnel collapsed. But Simon continues on through the dark tunnels, seeing the WoW's veins get thicker and thicker.
This is where it all went wrong, Simon. Site Alpha.
The infamous Site Alpha, where the WoW was made. Everything here has been totally breached and destroyed. As the WoW is the main antagonist of the game, you'd expect it to fight back, but it doesn't want to harm humans. That's against this protocol, so it can do nothing but let Simon in. It's a cancer, after all. An old research lab where the WoW was studied has also been flooded.
Just tell me what you want.
I need you to stop the WoW.
What? How?
The enslaved protein sloshing around your suit is the noose from which the WoW will hang itself.
What are you talking about?
As soon as I came to in Omicron, I tried to tell them to make the toxin that would make the WoW wither, but they didn't understand. They put it inside my cabinet. It's so infuriating. They needed to take it to Alpha, the fountainhead of the misery we created. And then the girl, Joey lied. She was going to take care of it, but you, WoW, shrieked. You took the gel from the cabinet and made yourself into a venomous snake.
You're saying this toxin inside of me can kill the WoW altogether?
You are the snake, Simon. Now strike at the heart.
That structure gel that Simon used for his suit is filled with a protein that will disable the structure gel's ability to send signals, thus removing the WoW's capacity of controlling the gel, releasing all of his victims and killing the WoW's influence.
What the hell is that?
The heart. It controls all the structure gel on Pathos 2. All you need to do is poison the imprint, and the heart will unwillingly spread it across Pathos 2, killing it. Feed it, Simon. Push your arm into the heart.
We have the choice here. We can kill the WoW, or let it live. The WoW is keeping all of the remnants of humanity alive, isn't it? Doing this would effectively be completely destroying what is left of humanity. Would it be better to let them live forever?
Please, I did what you wanted.
You did good, Simon, but you can't leave. The only way to make sure the WoW stays dead is to destroy the only one who's immune to the new pattern. Don't worry, I'll make it quick.
Oh God!
Thankfully, fate does exist, and a WoW creature kills Ross. The cancer continues to decay and burn as it slowly spreads the new updated data to all of the structure gel on Pathos 2. Even though we just killed the main bad guy of this game, I still don't feel good about what we did. We effectively just wiped out the rest of humanity. Any chance of this withering species had ever of surviving is gone. Sure, we stopped a mindless, endless suffering, but at what cost? The rest of the world was dead and burnt. Could it have been better to keep some of them alive for the chance to rebuild humanity? Though, after avoiding the creature, Simon makes it to the Omega space gun safely, the last station, Phi, of Pathos 2.
This has to be Phi, right? Hope the Ark made it here in one piece.
And Phi is the cleanest, most non-corrupted place so far in the whole game. It looks modern and sleek, and quite comforting to be in.
Chris, what the hell happened to your arm?
It's complicated. I just need to know one thing. I'll have both my arms in the Ark, right?
Yes, of course. Are you okay, though? Can you do stuff?
Yeah. Let's just get this over with.
Did you find the Ark?
I did, but I kinda lost it on my way here on an automated tram thing headed to Phi. So it should be around somewhere.
That's great. Let's go get it. Alright, Phi is up and running. Did you find out what happened to the Ark team?
Not really. For some reason, they didn't go through with the launch, so they took the Ark back to Tau.
I hope everything's okay with the space gun.
Yeah, I doubt I'll be able to repair one of those. This feels like the longest day of my life. Has it just been one day?
I have no idea. Our time together is a confusing patchwork of moments to me.
What time is it then? What day?
It's May 11th, 2104, 3:30 a.m., but I don't remember when we started.
You know, I woke up in my bed today. It just happens to have happened 100 years ago.
Sounds like a riddle.
It does. I woke up in my bed today, 100 years ago. Who am I? Who am I? It's crazy to think where I am. Not only is this the future, it's in the middle of the sea. I know nothing of this time or what the world looks like.
Not much to brag about now. Before the comet, I guess it was okay.
Yeah. Better not oversell it. Might change my mind about the Ark.
You seriously not gonna tell me what happened to your arm?
I had to make a quick stop at Site Alpha to help kill the WoW.
What? How? Why?
Stop it from torturing the memory of humanity.
Okay, let's just get back to work.
What will you do when you get into the Ark? What's the first thing?
Make sure the Ark is safe, stabilize flight path, activate solar panels.
Oh, what's the first human thing you're gonna do?
Oh. Watch the clouds roll by? Does that count?
I'd say so.
There's also this little helpful video showing how the Omega space gun works.
The satellite is loaded into a shell. The shell is accelerated by electromagnets along the barrel. Enough momentum to escape Earth's gravity is gained before ingression. Reaching space, the satellite will shed the shell and unfold. Onboard thrusters settle the satellite into an orbit.
There's no threats at this point in the game. No enemies you can kill, no monsters to hide from, other than your own mind. Can't really hide from that though, can you? But he finds a mutilated dead body, lying dead on the floor.
Are you suggesting we keep it down here? Doesn't that defeat the whole purpose? Eternity among the stars, remember?
The people inside the Ark won't know the difference. We can just keep it down here, and we don't have to risk the Ark being shot through 5,000 meters of broken barrel, and then push through another 100,000 meters of a dust-filled atmosphere.
Will the casing stand all that pressure?
Oh, the odds aren't great.
Catherine, say something.
I don't care what you think. I'm launching it.
No need to be like that. Let's just hang on to it for a while and think about it. We can launch it later.
No, that wasn't the deal. We made it to save them. To launch it. Out there, it's hope. Down here, it's a fucking terrarium waiting to die with the rest of us.
Come on, Catherine. It's not asking much. Let's just think about it before we risk the only hope humanity has to survive this hell.
No, we launch it today. This is my project, my Ark.
It's bigger than that. Don't you get it? It's not for you to decide. We're talking about the fate of mankind.
Get away from the Ark! I'm taking it.
No, you're not.
I'm not gonna let you ruin this.
Stop it!
Guys, calm down!
Get away from me! No!
What the fuck did you do?
It was an accident.
Catherine, talk to me. Catherine.
Oh God. Catherine.
Did you say something?
It's you. You had an accident.
What do you... Oh. You mean Catherine. Don't worry, it's better this way.
Her friends murdered her to stop them launching the Ark. How kind.
I think I found the assembly space.
What do you see?
It's like a huge open shell, a bullet ready to be loaded.
That's great. All prepared for the Ark.
Right. I'll go pick it up.
How did she die?
You got into a fight with your colleagues. They didn't want to risk launching the Ark. Thought I might not make it through the atmosphere.
They killed me?
I'm sure it was an accident. They were just trying to stop you from launching.
How could they kill me?
Catherine,
I know I'm not an easy person to like. I just thought they trusted me.
come on. Don't do this to yourself.
Did you have friends in Toronto, Simon? Real friends?
There was some. Jesse, Sean, Kevin.
I always wanted a friend. Like a real one. Someone you'd never hold back with.
I'll be your friend.
Ow, pity friendship? Now I feel even worse.
Do you think the Ark will make it through the atmosphere and into space?
It almost doesn't matter anymore. We just need to try. If we burn, we burn. If we're lucky, we just gave humanity a new chance, a whole new era. With the Ark on Earth, maybe we have a few decades of power to keep it running. In space, we have thousands of years.
Still, one hell of a gamble, though.
This was never about certainty. It's about hope.
Isn't that the point of it all? Hope? All humans really are, all we've ever been, is a sentient monkey staring up at the stars with hope. We sit there, dream about what will become of our lives, what the world will look like in years to come, the things that we'll achieve, dreams of love, friendship, experiences and living. We dream of laughing and crying and living forever. That's all we've ever been.
Here it is. We got the Ark back.
Good job, Simon. Take it to the assembly space and load the bullet.
So Simon loads the Ark into the bullet housing. Which tightly screws up to be shot out.
Is that it?
I'm really not that familiar with guns of any size. Oh, here we go. All systems say go.
Lock and load.
Combat up and we'll head out to the gun.
All that was left now was to launch the Ark.
Now what?
Now we just need to get the shell into the gun and then, kaboom.
Aren't you forgetting something? How are you gonna get us on board the Ark? Don't we need to make another scan?
Oh, don't you worry. You don't operate something like the Omega space gun with your bare hands.
You mean, it's a pilot seat? Like back at Omicron?
Yes, and we can use it to transfer you to the Ark while operating the gun. 2 birds and all that. Now, take the Omnitool and plug it in next to the seat and I'll guide you through the final steps.
Copy, paste, and delete. It was never a coin toss, was it? But Simon heads out of the final airlock towards the pilot's seat to load the Ark.
Oh, I'll never get used to that.
Guess you won't have to. Not after this is over.
Right. Have a seat. Comfortable?
As good as it's gonna get.
Okay, I'll activate the seat. You should be able to use the machines to load the bullet you assembled.
How do you operate this thing?
Don't know, I never tried this one. But pilot seats are notoriously easy to use, so it shouldn't be a problem.
So Simon easily loads the bullet into the proper place.
Okay, ready when you are. Just hit the button and we're off.
But we need to transfer our minds to the Ark.
We also need to make sure it launches at all, so I tied them to a single switch. Just push the button and we're off.
She isn't worried about the gun launching. She's worried about something else.
Here we go. No turning back.
Thank you, Simon.
Don't mention it.
It's an amazing thing you did. And I want you to know I appreciate it.
Time, 20 seconds.
What's the matter with the upload?
Just give it a second.
Thought you guys would have better bandwidth in the future.
10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6.
You gotta be kidding me!
5, 4, 3,
Come on, load!
2.
Yes! Fuck yeah, we made it! Woo! I'm still here. I'm still here. Catherine? Catherine?
I'm here.
What the hell happened? What went wrong?
Nothing. They're out there, among the stars. We're here.
No. We were getting on the Ark. I saw it. It finished loading just before it launched.
Yeah, I saw.
Then why are we still here?
Simon, I can't keep telling you how it works. You won't listen. You know why we're here. You were copied onto the Ark. You just didn't carry over. You lost the coin toss. We both did. Just like Simon at Omicron, just like the man who died in Toronto 100 years ago.
No. This is bullshit. We came all this way. We launched the Ark.
I know it sucks, but our copies are up there. Catherine and Simon are both safe on the Ark. Be happy for them.
Are you crazy? We're gonna die down here with those fuckers living at large on a spaceship. They're not us. They're not us.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Simon. I'm proud of what we did. We made sure that something of the hundreds of thousands of years of human history survives, that something lives on.
No. Fuck this. Fuck this. Fuck you. Fuck you, Catherine. You lied. And I believed in you. I trusted you. You said we're getting on the fucking Ark.
We are on the Ark, you idiot. I didn't lie. I can't be responsible for your goddamn ignorance. You
fuck! Catherine? Please don't leave me alone. Catherine? Catherine?
But there's still the other Simon, who's now on the Ark. Which to him looks as if everything is perfectly normal and okay. He won the coin toss. He thinks he's real.
Whoa. Is this... Did it work?
Both of the Simons were simulations at the end of the day. So who are we to say who's real and who's not? And the world looks beautiful. Perfect. It looks like something out of a depiction of what heaven would be. Eternity among the stars. I like the sound of that. But Simon comes across the same survey we completed at the beginning of the game. I find it really curious how my opinions on this have changed throughout the game. The fact a short game like SOMA can impact me so drastically that my whole thoughts on philosophical questions alter completely is true genius.
Catherine? Catherine! I can't believe we actually made it.
Well, we did.
I'm so relieved.
It's okay, Simon. Everything's all right now.
This is one of the most impactful games I've ever played. It made me question what it means to be human, what lies beyond us after death, and what it would mean to live forever. SOMA is nothing short of a masterpiece. A horrific masterpiece that terrified me with thoughts and questions far scarier than any jump scare ever could. This game will stay with me for a long time, as I sit there wondering what it really means to be human, as I contemplate my life among the stars. No game will ever come close to SOMA ever again, and I'm glad. This game does something special nothing will ever be able to compare to, and if that's not the most perfect way of living forever, then I don't know what is.